9:01, I'd like to call the Adams County Board of Supervisors meeting in order. We'll start with the invocation. I'll ask Mr. Bradford if you would give us the honors.
Let us stand up our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you, O God, for allowing us to see another day, O God. And Father, we just ask, O God, to carefully give your name all honor, praise, and glory, God. Thank you for allowing us to see another day. Father, we just want to pray, O God, for our elected officials. Father, continue to keep them strength, give them the strength and the passion to run on and lead your people, God. Father, as we continue to pray for peace in this community, O God, Father, we just ask, O God, that you look over our law enforcement, O God. Father, continue to comfort them, O God, in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we also comfort the families, O God, that may be going through any bereavement, O God. And Father, we also continue to pray for this state. Oh God, continue to keep our leaders uplifted, continue to keep us together. And Father, we just want to continue to pray, oh God, to love one another, oh God, as you had taught us in your word. And Father, we just carefully give your name all honor, praise, and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to do a roll call of office. Supervisor Gray. Here. Supervisor Hutchins. Here. Supervisor Middleton. Present. Supervisor Wilson. Present. Deputy Clerk Paige Dean. Chancellor Clerk Brandon Lewis. Present. Attorney Scott Slover. And I am present. I need a motion to approve of the dockets. So moved. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and it's properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion?
On the discussion, Mr. President, lane 3340, 7 date, 7 month, 2023. I'm voting yes.
All right, you get this? All right, if there'll be no more discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Are we down to county business? All right, if there'll be no county business, we move on to city government business then.
Yes, sir, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Supervisors.
Good morning.
Just want to give you a brief update on the closure of the Natchez Adams County Aquatic Center. I'm sorry to present this to you last minute, but I feel that it's super urgent, and I believe that we have some strategies here to prevent this from happening in the future, and also some strategies to get up to code compliance moving forward with our chemical inventory. The mechanical issues were diagnosed. Basically, there's a part of the pump system from the motor to the strainer, the actual plastic pump that broke. The impellers broke. There's several reasons that this could have happened, and that's not to be determined by me or anyone else. We're waiting on the parts, which are currently under warranty. We're expecting a 2 to 3 week turnaround time for that. Superior Pools, who replaced this part previously, said that we would probably be up and running within the next 7 to 10 days. That's highly optimistic. Strategies to prevent this in the future would be to take the same assembly that malfunctioned last year. Let me back up. We were able to purchase a complete power end assembly, which is the motor, the pump, and the strainer last year because the same part failed. So basically we have a motor and a strainer on hand. We just need to buy an additional pump. I'm waiting on the figures for that. That would allow us to have a complete unit that we could plug and play once there is another failure, because it's inevitable, it happens. These parts are made of plastic. That would create a 24 to 36 hour downtime as opposed to 3 to 6 week downtime. Most importantly, and what I'm here to present today, this is the most important, most crucial part. We're currently running our chemical controller. Anyone that knows anything about automation, that's basically the brains that tells the system when to distribute certain chemicals, whether it be acid to control pH or chlorine to kill contaminants in the pool. Well, this is an automated system. We're running the CAT 2000 right now. The test probes alone for this CAT 2000 range from $400 to $491 a piece. Currently, the probes that we have, one of them is broken off and sitting in the bottom of the unit that reads the water, so it's not functioning properly. So Mr. Daniels is having to override that system and use a manual override for how long, he doesn't know. I mean, he's guessing every time he does it. So he has to test the water, hit the manual override, go back and test the water. It's not very efficient on his end. So my suggestion, instead of paying the $892 to fix the current system, would be to upgrade to the CAT 4000 Wi-Fi compatible system. This system is remotely controlled and monitored with real-time diagnostics. It automatically records hourly chemical logs to reduce liability. It's plug-and-play compatibility with our current system, and it includes two test probes that have a 1-year warranty each. Total upgrade cost, I just got this figure in this morning from Superior Pool, is $3,942.91. Now, as nice as automation may be, it is also highly important to go through this disclaimer. These control systems are what is used nationally and are currently required by code in several states. Mississippi will eventually require a fully operational automated control system. However, this system is not designed to replace the human element. It is only designed to aid the pool operator in maintaining proper chemical balance for sanitation. System components will need to be inspected, cleaned, and calibrated on a routine basis. It is not suggested to depend solely on automation. Manual testing must still be performed 3 times a day minimum. From one of our sales reps says, the automated system does not keep things perfect. It allows the operator to keep things perfect. So I don't know if you guys are ready to, let me back up. I don't know anything about the budget of the pool. This may be within the budget. I haven't been able to get those figures when asked, so please advise me on how to move forward with this, because I think this is super important.
Well, it's always, I think, a county and a city, I'm not sure. We are actually at budget time right now, and so what we'll actually have to do is get with our acting county administrator and the city clerk to actually see what's there, and we will have to look back and I guess take it under advisement and make a decision. But I'm gonna open the floor up to anybody who wants to speak right now about it, any other supervisor. If being no more,
I do have a question. At this point, has the city taken any action on?
The city has not taken action. I presented the information as an informative measure to them last week. They said once I get the figures and present to the board, they would comply.
okay.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna recommend that we go past this, man. It don't make no sense to wait. I listened to the city meeting when he presented this to the city, and if we don't make a motion to go and take care of this, what we pay ad and the city pay ad, then it's gonna you're gonna kick it further down the road. $3,942,
Yes, sir.
and they want us to pay half of that.
Yes, sir. From my understanding, it's a
I don't see why we need to be trying to kick it down the road. If we can't come up with $2,000 to make sure that the pool continues to stay open, something wrong. I'm gonna make a motion that we find the money to pay half of $3,942.91.
Motion been made by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second?
I'll say.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay, has the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you. Next strategy on the backside of that.
Ryan, real quick.
Yes, sir.
There is a sales tax attached to that total that would need to come off from Superior.
Okay.
So that total would actually be $3,684.96.
$3,684.96.
96.
Okay, and this also reading the fine print closer, does not include installation or any parts. I feel confident that it's plug and play. I think our staff can make that happen. I just have to make sure that it doesn't void the warranty if we install it ourselves. So there may be an additional $200 in installation fees.
Mr. President,
Go ahead, Supervisor Graham.
Mr. Ryan, I was listening to what you were saying earlier. You were saying that we're gonna go to a system where we be able to monitor this on the cell phone. And
Correct.
if we need some more chemicals in the pool, the cell
Correct.
phone will alert you.
Yes, sir.
Man.
And it takes-
Technology is amazing because, and then you remember when we was at the pool over there, you had to hand do everything. Check the water after the
Absolutely.
people get out and make sure.
And I must stress that this does not replace that system. The manual system must stay in place, but this is basically a dashboard that allows us to watch the pool chemical levels in real time with hourly diagnostics.
I'm glad, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's amazing that we done got to that point where we can do this and check the water, and it'll let you know that you need to add some more chlorine or some more acid or whatever the case may be, so I don't have a problem with it.
Any other questions before we move on?
Anybody have any more questions for Mr. Porter? If not, we appreciate it, and,
I've got one more really quick. Basically, the way the system is designed, we have an automated chlorinator that requires a specialized briquette to basically pump pump chlorine continuously into the pool. Currently, there are no vendors that use the same briquette required by the Pulsar system that we have. We have to order those through Ewing Pools in Alexandria. They do not deliver and they do not drop ship unless we purchase a minimum of 1 pallet. That's 24 buckets. That order would last approximately 20 weeks in a pool of our size, 240,000 gallons. So I guess my next question would be, or my next motion would be to go ahead and purchase 1 pallet of that chlorine. Comes to $4,344, and keep in mind that will last up to 20 weeks. Instead of us shotgunning back and forth, getting chemicals on a weekly basis, we would have enough on hand for almost the entire summer.
You need a motion for that.
ready for the board? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray.
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Middleton. There be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, may tell the same, right, motion carried unanimously.
Mr. President,
Mr. Gray?
question. Everything we doing, I think it's great. Are you communicating with the people that run the pool over there too?
Absolutely. Sharika and Ralph Daniels are both aware of this.
So y'all been communicating?
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Are we gonna kind of lose the pool over the next 2 weeks as far as the,
Mr. Daniels is doing a really good job with our backup system. It's basically used for cleaning the pool, but he's using it to cycle and move the water as best he can.
but nobody can swim in it because you can't.
Nobody can swim in it until we get our main pump up and running. It's just not.
Gotta have it.
Okay.
That's the only way to ensure that it is safe
All
from
right.
one end to the other.
Appreciate it.
all right.
May I say something, please?
Absolutely.
I'm Janine Price, the purchase clerk for Adams County. Ryan, I spoke with you when the pump went out because Sharika called me and informed me about it.
Okay.
And I asked you to let me know the status of the pump, if it was under warranty or whatever. And I couldn't get any information from Sharika. I couldn't get any information from you. I called you. You said you were gonna call me back because you were gonna go out there. But I never heard anything else about if the pump was under warranty or not.
All
So
right, my
that's what we
apologies.
need to know, if it's under warranty. Because it's
Absolutely.
been less than a year. We shouldn't have to pays
Correct.
for this?
So we're not paying for any parts of it. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you.
Okay.
It's been quite a wild ride with the swimming pool up to now. The existing parts that are being delivered as we speak are under warranty, so we don't have to pay anything for that. Now, my first suggestion, and I'll have to come back and get approval for this at a later date, but my suggestion was to take the power and assembly that we currently had before we bought the entire system last year, if that makes sense. So the original broke, we pulled it off and changed it out with a new system. Well, what was broke on the original system was only one part on the whole system. So if we replace that part, then we'll have a backup system moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just want to make clear on that.
Right.
Mr. President, Mr. Attorney, in the process of purchasing these parts for the pool, we gotta go through the purchasing clerk since it's coming through the county.
Yeah, we're gonna issue the initial check, we need to do it, and that's how the pool has been operating. You know, we've been providing our purchasing services, which is I always feel most comfortable with, because I know that the purchasing department
So
will do it correctly.
in purchasing stuff in the county gonna be on board with it, we gotta go through purchasing.
Yeah, if we're gonna reimburse the city, you don't necessarily have to, but it's always better to use our purchasing department.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They're just trained and certified by the state. I don't know the city what they have, but I know ours is.
What bookkeeping's been doing is any expenditures for the pool, they've been getting invoices over to me, and then I've been doing an invoice usually every other month to the city for payroll, Blankenstein's, any utilities or anything like that, so if they wanna do it this way, with these expenditures, I can just add that to the invoice.
That should be that though too.
Brandy, have you got any monies in from the pool revenue? Have you got
Yes, sir.
anything on that?
We have about, I think it's 28 or 29,000 in the account. We have not dispersed any of that, so that's just been sitting.
Assume we need anything else.
All right, any other questions about the pool?
I don't have any questions, Mr. President, but I need to make a statement after we finish with city government business.
Go ahead, Mr. Gray.
I didn't go to the city meeting, but I did listen to the city meeting, and I'm saying this because I try to be honest, open, and fair. The mayor discussed, because I do live in the city limits, and I never brought it to this board attention because I always felt it was a city matter. But it's a trash issue, and I was getting all these calls about garbage not being picked up. So the mayor did address it, and the company had a mechanical breakdown and some personnel issues is the reason that our trash wasn't being picked up in the city. Now, only problem I have with this, and I'm gonna go back to Miss Angel Reese. When they did it, it wasn't a problem. But when I did it, it's a problem. I hope y'all get the message. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right. All right, we're going to department reports, if you would. Talk to Ms. Rice and Ms. Frazier. They got a letter I want them to present to the board.
Okay. Actually, good morning.
We had a conversation late Friday, and they didn't get on the agenda, and they training over there, so I told them to come, and they can present.
Yes, we're in the middle of getting the election ready, so,
Brandon, did you get the letter we sent you? Which I gave it to you all.
yes.
I fed it through here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got quite a stack of stuff.
But basically, you can kind of, just go ahead and tell them and see if Brandon got the letter, or what we
Okay.
got.
Good morning, Doris Rice, the election commissioner of District 5, and Shirley Fraser, this election commissioner for District 4, also representing 1, 2, and 3. We wanted to bring to you all's attention that Senate Bill number 2353 was approved by, effective July 1st and by the Secretary of State. And what this does is that it allows poll workers to receive an additional $75 for pay. To give them an additional $75 for pay. We have already built this into our budget for next year, and we are hoping that you guys would approve this, because right now they're receiving $125, and this will give them $200. We are begging for this because it is so hard to find poll workers. They have a long day, it's 14 hours. So we are hoping that you guys would approve this for us.
We're looking for workers right now.
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Attorney, have you reviewed, Senate Bill 2353?
I'm not, I'm pulling it up right now, and Mr. President, we probably have to get a budget amendment for, coming up. I mean, because we got an August election, is that what you'd be asking for?
Yes.
We need a budget increase, form to be filled out, so we can take a look and present to the board. You get.
But whatever we do, we're not gonna have time to present, and that's because, you know, the next meeting is, well, the day before election, well, we might have. So, we do have one, I forgot we got a meeting on the 7th.
President Graham.
Yeah.
I know they said it's like 160 poll workers, right?
150,
That's what I was told.
153.
150? Okay, I was
Yeah.
told 160. I was told it was 35 R&N. R&Rs.
38.
And then 38?
Yes.
I'm getting the wrong figures. It was 38 R&Rs, and then the rest of them was poll workers.
Right, 19 bailers.
Okay, so we're gonna have to find out what the cost of all that's gonna cost us before anything too. What-
And in addition to that, the R&Rs will receive an additional $15 for each pickup. They picked up the bags the day before election and return it after the election, on the election night.
Okay.
And also, training is going up to $20 an hour. At present, they receive 10. And so we are having a really hard time finding poll workers because of the pay. They do realize that this is not, you know, a salary, and they are doing this as, you know, something that they want to do, but because we need them, we would like for them to receive the additional pay.
They're working 13 and almost a half hours a day.
They're working from 6 until about 8 o'clock at night. 6 in the morning until about 8 o'clock at night.
And President, and I have spoke with someone had called me about it in the past, about what they was making, and was asking how do they go about trying to get that raise.
Yes, the last election, we had a lot of questions about the pay.
I did get a call about that, so, I'm in favor of that when we can determine how much,
Yeah,
it would
and
cost.
like, these are people that we counted on, I mean, for years.
Right.
All right,
Well,
well,
a lot of them is elderly, and we want to keep them, but we trying to get the younger people.
yeah, well, I know, I think we'll be in favor of, but I think y'all need to figure what's, if that's the pleasure of the board, we have a form that they fill out for budget increases, so we can make sure our money's right. I don't think anybody's against giving a raise at all to the election commission. We definitely need people to work the polls and things like that. But I think we need to give it Brandon, and once y'all get a figure and we get a budget, one price on it, so we can make sure we do a budget amendment or give you an increase to your budget that you need. And I think poll workers, it's hard all around, and we got major elections, and you really need good poll workers.
Yes.
No doubt in my mind. But I'm gonna open the floor for anybody else that have any comments. If not, if anybody else
Mr.
have,
President.
go ahead.
The only comment I have, on 100% in increasing the pay, and I will recommend that y'all do this immediately and give it to Brandon, and maybe we can call a special call meeting to make sure them people get compensated, because we need to have people working at the
Okay, what are you asking us to give to Brandon?
The total amount,
So we amend the budget.
we're gonna change the budget now.
Okay.
It looks like y'all do have some money in some of your funds, you know, still out there that we'll be able to work with.
We just need a total
Just need
amount.
to
And
tell
we already included into our next year's budget.
But we don't have it for right
Oh,
now.
right now.
But we talking about.
Right now. Okay. So for the August
The
budget.
total amount, so we'll know where.
And also, I gave Brandon 2 forms. We need a trailer to carry our new equipment, and I gave her that as 2 of them. We wanted you to approve that also, because they carry them in trucks and they have to make so many stops. It's 19 of them. And they big old suitcases like so.
Trash can.
Trash cans.
Don't
So,
we have trailers, Mr. Roseman?
I got here, been dealing with, Mr. Gardner. He's gonna rent 2 U-Haul trailers. He's gonna rent two U-Haul trailers. He's got a morning delivery and afternoon delivery the day before and the day after the election. They're gonna supply 2 employees and the county for 2 employees with our trucks, and they're gonna rent the U-Haul trailers. And from 8:30 to 12:30, they're gonna do the morning delivery. From 1:30 to 4:30, they're gonna do the afternoon. We're gonna email every supervisor this afternoon, the morning stop and evening stop, what it is. I had it on my list to talk about today, but yeah, he's gonna rent 2 U-Haul trailers, whatever they have, $35-40 a day to do.
So this already in your budget?
Yes.
yeah,
Cause I think that only, I think $95 for the trucks, I think.
Something, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
How long will it take y'all to get that together, the amount? I mean, could you have it in a couple of hours back to us, or we might could approve it today?
we'll try.
We'll try.
Cause I know y'all need
Testing
this.
balance right
You
now.
need it done, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
And it'd be better if we did it now and not 2 weeks from now.
No. We're training this week, so we would like to be able to tell them something.
And I'd hate to have a special call meeting just for one
So
vote
we'll
like
try to
that, if we
get
could do it.
Get it back to one of the supervisors.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Again, Brandon.
Brandon.
Okay.
Brandon's the one we need to get it to.
All right.
All right?
Okay, well, we
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, city government business. Any city government business?
We just did.
Yeah, but that one thing I did forget. Scott, did you get with, I didn't see the engineer.
He was in the back.
He's in the back. Yeah, Mr. Engineer, we're gonna take care of that, but am I correct before I said, and I think we talked before, and I think I did see the advertising in the paper, county city business that Morgantown Road, bids were open on election day, August the 8th.
At 10 o'clock a.m. August 8th.
At 10 o'clock a.m. August the 8th, the bids for Morgantown Road will be open. I just wanted to be sure, cause there's some county city business that, I think that we need to go forth. Thank you, that's all I need. All right, departmental reports. See Miss Joanne Hargrave, Betsy Strada. I think this gonna be executive session, am I correct?
We have closed determination.
Huh?
We have closed determination.
We have a closed determination. So we actually we probably can, cause we'll be here in a meeting, I guess, for another hour or so we can give y'all a call when we get ready, so,
Thank you.
when we get ready for the executive session. I mean, close determination to see if we need an executive session. All right, we're gonna start with departmental reports, we're gonna move forward.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Martin, I'm the comptroller for Adams County. I had a quick question. In processing travel with Miss Mary Kay, we processed the travel for the mileage. And in doing their reimbursements for meals, they submitted travel for mileage from where the conference is being held to their hotel and back. So I was trying to find out, because what I told her, I had never reprocessed mileage for, going to and from where the conference is being held from the hotel. We had already processed the travel for the mileage from here to there and there back. But in them processing their reimbursement for the meals and everything like that, that they resubmitted to get reapproved, they put in the mileage from traveling from their hotel to where the conference is being held, and from the conference location back to the hotel. And I told her nobody else in any other department has ever done that. So, and that was something I'd never done. So I'm bringing it to the board to see if that's the proper way that travel needs to be done.
I'm gonna refer that to the legal people, because I don't know the answer to that. Unless anybody on the board know the answer to that?
I've done it every year when we go to national because we can't stay at the hotel that it's at.
I understand the question. I mean, I read the email. I do understand I understand the question, but I'm talking about legally, Scott, what?
I'll get with Mary Kay and with,
John Key.
to figure
He
that out.
had the research. I mean, I don't think it's nothing that can be worked out or whatever, but.
Yeah,
I mean,
travel
not-
advance is usually your mileage and ahead of time, but this is just when you turn it back in.
Yeah, my thing was that nobody else, and you know, we
understand.
just came from a conference and we didn't stay at the location because I was at the convention center and we drove from our hotel to the location and from the location back. And nobody else has submitted reimbursement for travel when they're not staying at the location where the conference is being held. So I want to make sure we're doing it across the board and not just for one particular
How many
department.
miles we talking about?
11 a day. That's round trip.
It's not that just, why
Kind of opens up a can of worms.
why don't we just kind of refer legally and let him look and research what's legal behind it, and then, we discuss it and fix from that. That's gonna be my suggestion, because I can't answer that question. I'm not gonna answer the question, legal or illegal, I don't know, and I wanna be legal to whatever the answer is. That's basically what I want now. If any other board member have anything else, if they don't, I'm gonna refer to the attorney, let him look it up, and let him get with y'all, we work this thing out.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jackie,
But-
do you have your budget amendment?
So what is something we need to do right now while she's here?
I was asking for a budget amendment moving, from one area to another. We have like just supplies to get us through the end of the year. Toner, cartridges, paper, basically for the department. So we do have the money in another area that we can move to supplies in order to do that.
She was asking me $2,000 from 603 to 582.
And the money's there.
582 to 603.
But the money's there?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, can I get a motion? You heard the request of the comptroller. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hudson and properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, departmental report.
Good morning, board. I am here today because the company that hosts our website, US Next, they had requested that we move to a new platform for our website because the website is having security issues. Well, not ours in particular, but it uses an old code that causes vulnerabilities, and we want to move to that as soon as possible. What that entails, it will be an overhaul of the website. It will look different from the previous one, and I did let them know that you all may have to approve the look of it before we launch that website. And also, this upgrade will be free of charge since we've been of service with them for so long. But I just wanted the board's approval to move forward with that process.
All right, you heard the request of the IT director. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second? It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? There be no discussion. All in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's all I have for today.
Brad, I didn't recognize you when I came in earlier. This is the first time I've seen you without a mask.
I've been getting it
Good
run
seeing you again.
Thank you.
All right, departmental report. Next.
morning. My name is Deneen Price, and I'm the purchase clerk for Adams County. Firstly, I would like to ask for permission for advertisement for bids for 6 months and 1 year road department supplies.
You heard the request of the purchase clerk, can I get a motion? Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
Thank you. Secondly, we have 3 bids to replace the compressors on the 2 chillers at Adams County Jail. The first bid is with Train for $22,662.71. The second bid is with Upchurch Services for $25,110. And the third bid is with Terry Service for $27,547. The best bid is with Train for $22,662.71.
All right, you heard the request of the purchase clerk.
Where's that money coming from?
It's from out of Johnny's. I have to look it.
And there's enough in there?
Yes.
Okay. So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
I didn't hear it. Let him second. I can't hear it all at one time. And I'm so excuse me. Properly second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? There be no.
Yes, Scott, would you like for us to go over it, or are you gonna go over later about the tractors and?
No.
Carry this out first.
No.
Oh, okay, you said, okay, I thought you were done, okay, nothing else on it.
There be any more discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously. All right, now,
Yeah.
you got something you can move with the next issue.
Yes, I was asking Scott, do we need to go over it, or is something you're gonna present, Scott, with the tractors for the road department?
Doesn't matter, we don't need to hold everyone in suspense. The tractors that were ordered back in, was it November or December that the purchasing order was entered?
Yes.
Which is important, based on the new Attorney General's opinion, for some equipment for the road department. They gave us, I don't know, what, 4 days notice?
This
That the tractors are gonna be ready to be
tractor
picked up.
be ready.
Be ready to be picked up by the end of the month. And so that gave us very little time to get the financing in place. However, Deneen, she solicited 3 different banks. It was the most commonly bid on banks, the ones that actually usually get the bid, between Trustmark, Delta Bank, and what was the other one?
Cadence.
Yeah, Cadence, and they used to be Bancorp South. So, again, Delta ended up being the lowest and best bid. We need to go ahead and accept the Delta Bank as the lowest and best bid for the lease purchase and authorize us to sign that paperwork. That way we can pick up the tractors and not have any type of delay on it. I sent y'all this paperwork, but it might have been late Friday, so I don't know if y'all had a chance to see it. But it's the same lease purchase match agreement we've been on since 2014.
I seen it. We heard the request of the purchase clerk and the recommendation from the attorney. Can I get a motion? Been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton and properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
And lastly, we have the lease purchase for the sheriff vehicles. The bank has signed off on it. I gave a copy to Scott, and I think Brandy and Gaines, you need to sign off on that.
All right, something that's in there already. Yeah, we did.
We did, okay. And that's all I have.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick, Mr. Dane,
Mrs. Name.
Sure.
where are we at on the playground equipment?
Where we,
On the playground equipment?
the structures? I think Angela just spoke with Shaki about it this morning. She said September, is that the same date? Yes, that's the last time, September.
She said they had so many other people that they was doing for playground and stuff, so we down.
Yes, because all the counties got the same amount of money. I mean, got the same money.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, NFS with E911 dispatch. I'm gonna start by giving you the calls from July the 1st to the 17th. We had Adams County SO 302, Natchez PD 560, Natchez Fire Department 15 with 11 being county. Also, I want to request for travel for Tristan Rice, Sandra Tillman for the 16-hour orientation class in Canton, Mississippi on August the 14th through the 15th.
So,
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah.
I got, yeah, girl. I'm gonna have to have a talk with somebody. When we do travel, I do not need this much paper. I need the travel form that I need to sign alone. I got a book. Yeah. What now? Who you said?
Tristan Rice and Sandra Tillman.
Hold on. Tristan Rice.
Also, you should have one for Marlon Swayze for attack class too.
Tristan Rice. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. Sandra Tillman. And Marlon,
Yeah,
Marlon Swayze.
yeah, Marlon Swayze.
Oh, it's going right here together. All right, I do have the necessary paperwork. Let's recall the name, so you can get them. It's Sandra Tillman.
Sandra Tillman and Tristan Rice. That's for a 16-hour orientation class in Canton on August the 14th through the 15th.
I do have the paperwork. You heard the request of the E911 director. Can I get a motion?
Second.
And been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? There'll be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
Also, I have one for Marlon Swayze for attack class in Canton on August the 7th through the 11th.
I do have necessary paperwork for Marlon Swayze. Can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
I have a request to hire a Taj Minor and a Casey Buckles Wheeler.
Hold on. That minor.
Minor and Wheeler, Buckles Wheeler.
That one. Who was that?
Casey Buckles.
Casey Buckles. I don't see that. I had a Marlon Swayze. I mean, I have a Marlon Swayze.
Yeah. That's the pay rate change for Marlon Swayze.
I'll make sure, cause when I went through my folder Friday, there wasn't this many in there. This has been some change. Deputy Sheriff.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
in year 50, we gonna put a yellow, green, purple tag on each department, and you can just go to each department.
But,
If you don't have it, I can bring another one back to you.
I came up this Friday like I always do, and went through and put them all together. But it has been a ton added to my folder since I've came Friday. Have fun with Stokes and that's the deputy sheriff. You can look at them. Anyway, that's,
Yeah, I can bring a copy from him. So you don't
what's
have-
the name again? I got the
Casey Bucklewood.
Casey Bucklewood.
Let's just
Yeah.
approve the pending paperwork.
Yeah.
I make a
It's not
motion
there.
approving the pending paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you heard this request. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, properly second by Supervisor Wilson. There been any discussion?
You can make sure that he's got the paperwork signed before you tell him to start work.
He gonna go get it from, he's not here, Paige went through that, he's not.
Just give him what you
Supervisor
leave
Hutchins,
after
made the
this.
motion, and Supervisor Wilson second.
Also, we have one.
Wait a minute, are we ready to vote? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carries unanimously.
Also, I have a pay rate change for Marlon Swayze. He's moving to a shift captain with $1 more in pay.
All right, I do have the paperwork, and you heard the request of the E911 director, and it's $13.60 per hour. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried none. All right, and I need you, if you would, get that
I
paperwork
am
back
gonna
there.
go get it now.
I'll take care of it. Thank you much.
Good morning. Joe Belling with the Intervention Court, and I'm here. I've got 3 memorandum of understandings we just need to spread across the board. To provide to y'all. I also provided some paperwork in the SAMS.gov that was previously signed by Vice President Mr. Gaines back in June. However, we submitted a new form for Mr. Gaines to review and sign. We added the previous address on the form just for additional verification with the SAM.gov.
It was required by SAM.gov. They wouldn't accept the last one.
Okay.
So we just added that on there. And then also I have 2 budget amendments asking.
Well, let's do one at a time.
All right.
We're gonna do one at a time. I do have the necessary paperwork in my hand to re-sign something that we have previously approved, but I do need a motion. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second? Second. It's been properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carries unanimously. All right. Then,
I have a budget amendment request to add $4,000 to the 118 fund, the adult drug court contractual services, to cover invoices for treatment for 4 individuals that were just sent off. The money is reimbursable by AOC. We just have to lay out the money.
Brandon, you're familiar with it?
Yes, if you wanna go ahead and do both of them, you can at the same time, that's fine.
Okay, the second one was for a previous approved MOU. We're asking for the $21,000 to be added to the budget, so that this way, as the bills come in each month, we can pay the service provider.
All right, the necessary
Is that reimbursement?
paperwork has been checked, with the, acting county administrator, so can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, can I get a second? It's properly seconded by Supervisor Wilson, there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carries unanimously. Right? Thank you.
Okay, the last I have is the minutes, the memorandum of understanding for the 3 different facilities. I just need to get them spread across the board.
You heard the request of Mr. Bellin. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays, have the same right, motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Bellin. That'll be all.
I believe there was a travel form submitted also
You got a bunch of them over
for Peter's speech.
there. Yeah. I just seen it. I did see it.
That was an add-on after the others were submitted for the Mississippi Association of Drug Court Professional Conference.
Yeah, I do have the paperwork. And I know they said that, I know usually we have, I want to be right, but I know usually we have, when they submit papers, from my few months being here, we usually submit the, I have everything but what I need. You know what I'm saying? You know, we need to just look with, give a page, something like that. I do have all your paperwork, but I got all the paperwork, and I got a stack of paperwork, and most of them ain't got the right form that I need them to sign.
Don't have to sign paperwork for human resource or anything.
This is traveling.
It's just travel, no. Yeah, but no, it's a travel, when you travel, it's a travel form that we put in. You know, all I have, when I approve it, I have to sign a travel form. All I have is information like mileage and where you're going and how much it costs. I need the actual form to sign. And we gonna, not trying to put you on the spot, but just trying to make sure we get it straight, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to put you on the spot because I think this is the biggest thing I ever had. And most of them don't even have the form to sign, the proper sign when I need to sign.
Mary Kay, can you?
She's gonna print one for me?
Yes.
But,
Mary Kay, get in the right form.
But you probably need to go get them now.
no, she's doing it right now.
Okay, Randy.
You can email it,
So,
You go to my office next month.
can I,
Vincent, she's got one, she can give it to you, fill it out right now. Keep it right away.
so I think all the amounts is here. Do you need this too? Hey, do you need this? You need all that to get the proper stuff out there? Yeah. All right. While we waiting next. Wait a minute, hold on.
You wanna go first, or go ahead? You're good.
Hey, tell them to come back. Tell them to come back. Tell them to come back. They done put, they gave me all that.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of amazing. This is right.
I thought we just went in there.
Hey. Man.
They didn't put it all
They
together.
ain't put it together, they got that phone, you can keep that.
I need that.
All right, I do have the paperwork. Mississippi Association of Drug Courts for Mr. Beach. Can I get a motion? The approval child has been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimously.
Is that all you had, Jim?
That's it, thank you.
All right,
Good morning.
good morning.
I'm just here to do 2 travel requests for myself, Henry Upshaw, and Krista Stewart.
You got it in here?
Yeah, it's in there. Should have the forms with it and everything, and all the mileage and the hotels and all that stuff added up in there. Should be total.
Where's the travel to?
To, the Juvenile Justice Symposium on the coast, Biloxi.
In Biloxi?
Yeah.
Alright. I got Mr. Upshaw, what's the other name?
Christy Stewart.
Christy Stewart, got Mr. Upshaw.
It should be told the,
It may be together.
Yeah.
We're gonna also need the printout of your travel, like.
the knowledge.
Yes.
That should be in there. You talking about the MapQuest printout, right?
They probably under they got.
Is it just you and her going?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because this is the only two things that.
With the form, can I get a motion to approve pending the form, Mr. Henry Upshaw? I mean,
I put the mileage and and multiplied it out right there, so it should be in detail right there on there.
alright. Well, just make sure you give her what she needs.
Okay, I'll give her
I'm just
that
gonna
form
get you
too.
some approval.
Yes, sir.
For the travel for Mr. Henry Upshaw and Miss Christy Stewart. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson and properly seconded by Supervisor Hutchins. Would there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay, have the same right, motion carried unanimous. All right, Mr. Upshaw, you got anything else?
That's it, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to put this in y'all's process of thinking. In the building over here, we got one hot water heater and one cooling unit on the far end of the building right here that's not functioning. So at some point, that hot water heater's got the three big ones in there for the whole building. That third one that's not working covers the part of the building that's on the north side, and the water on that end is not getting that hot. So
All right, have you got with maintenance?
they know about it, but it's gonna be a project, cause that either we have to bypass that third hot water heater and use just those two, or we gonna have to replace that third one.
All right, well, what we gonna do, I'm gonna give it maintenance, and we already got it in our ear. I appreciate you bringing it forward.
Okay.
All right.
And then the gym is very hot in the summertime, and that AC unit on that end is not working,
Yeah.
so.
Again, get with maintenance, and that needs to go before the board
Yes.
on your annual budget. So-
Yes, so just kind of giving y'all a buzz about that. Thank you.
You know, Johnny can tie those more leaders together, it'd be better, probably placing them.
I just did his budget, he didn't tell me that, so I have to redo it. Once he gets that done.
All right, Ms. Mary Kay.
Good morning, I have several things. Want to go with the travel first? Get that out of your way?
Get out of my way.
I have a request for 8 people to go to Oxford, Mississippi Association of Drug Court Professionals, August 23rd through the 25th. Mine's not in there because I've already done mine, but now I have these names. Tia Fels,
I think I seen it.
Some-
Say it again.
8 of them, so it's a bunch.
Yeah.
These are all grant reimbursed, all for all 8 people to go. It's grant required for the whole team.
Everybody going?
We got 8 people going. Well, 9 going. One's already been approved. I got 8 more to approve today.
It's TFL.
Tia Fels, Hollis Hunt,
That's the big snack you got.
So,
yeah.
I seen some of them.
I have 2 different ones, so I'm gonna have a stack for juvenile justice, different dates, and this
Yeah.
is the staff right now.
Because the
We're doing.
reimbursements don't have to be approved, so these are
No,
just.
these are all cash advance, or travel advances that I'm asking requests for today.
Okay.
Yeah, this is something different here, hold on. You can look through them.
So you got 8 people,
Cause
9
that's
people
parent
going, but they're
home.
going at different times. Or they all going at the same
We're all
time?
going, the conference is August 23rd through the 25th in Oxford.
Let me call, see, is this Sharon Hall, Pam Walker?
Is this on the 23rd through the 25th?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tia Fair,
Yes.
Karen,
Iman, yes.
yeah, Karen Nunn. So meet you guys,
Yes.
this Nifa Harden,
Yes.
Hollis Hunt,
Yes.
Andy Kennedy.
Yes, that's the last one. That's all it is. That's just for the Oxford trip.
Just for the Oxford trip. I do have the necessary paperwork in hand. Okay. All right, well.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been properly second by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Mr. President, now that we carry the motion, I got a question. Is this travel for employees?
This is travel for the drug court team, that not all of them are actual Adams County employees, but it's for the team that is required by the grants. So it's all grant reimbursed. So we'll be reimbursed for everything of it.
All right, Mr. Mayor Kay, if there be any more questions? Any more questions? All right, if there be no more questions, all right, you can proceed.
Next travel, I should have 6 of them in your pile for, you wanna find them and call out the names?
Yeah, then
Okay.
that's what you said.
This one's for Juvenile Justice Symposium. It's August 9th through the 11th at the Golden Nugget in Biloxi. And it is all grant funded and reimbursed.
So what you had? August 9th through 11th,
Yes,
so this Sharon Hall,
yes,
Pamela Walker,
yes,
Shirley Brown,
yes,
yourself,
yes,
Tia Fields,
yes,
Sandra Satcher.
yes, that's the last one.
All right. You heard the request. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson, properly second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
All right. Next thing I have is the grant we received from CMPDD, which is the mentoring program grant that we worked with Tawana Williams to get. I need a refund number so I can start spending it. Started July 1.
That's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be getting with, Ms. Lewis here to create your farm number, is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
So what, we need a motion to approve, her setting up a fund so they can start spending this grant. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, properly second by Supervisor Gray. Would there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using sign aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Great. I have also submitted, for that grant to rehire someone that used to work with the, youth drug court program, or, I'm sorry, the family drug court program with us, Miss LaTanya Earls. Paperwork is in there to rehire her. And she will be doing the, program, she'll be the program coordinator for the mentoring grant.
Need a motion?
I gotta find it. You don't get now motion till I find it.
LaTanya Earls is the name.
I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm looking. I'll leave it to you. That's juvenile, huh? I have no idea. The sheriff department. I have some paperwork for you.
I have a copy if you need it.
That's fine, dude. I got some paperwork, but it has your name on, program director.
Yes, I have, I was going to do me next.
So you can proceed on with you while we're looking for that one.
Okay, for the same, program, I have,
I got it.
you got it?
We got the same program.
Same program, I have one in there for me. I will be, doing the financials for it and being the, program supervisor.
All right, I do have both paperwork, both sets of paperwork.
Does not have a phone number on there, because I'm waiting to get that. Once I get it, I'll add that to it.
And I just emailed Chucky to them. Did it
Yes. Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve, LaTanya Earls and Ms. Mary Kay Daughtry?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second? Properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Okay, next, you'll see in there two more for me, Fund 116, Fund 117. Then that I
I do.
took on this other one, those two had to change.
I do see them.
117 changed because we lost some funding, so my pay went down on 117, and 116, it compensated for it. We just changed it up.
I have the necessary paperwork. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Can I get a second? Properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. If any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
One last thing. Judge Brown is requesting to discuss the detention center budget at executive session, since you've already called one.
He can submit his budget request, and if it qualifies, we'll make a close determination. But budget requests are typically done on open meeting, so it's gotta be a specific.
Okay, and that, I had asked that when I got here, because I didn't know, but, so then, he's gonna be over here in just a second. I'll just sit down and take for him. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, so just.
Departmental reports?
This is a budget
No, it's-
request for the upcoming.
Yeah, he and I have been playing phone tag, and I think they had some items that they were wanting to address in the board.
Yeah.
But when that bill still doing budget.
I'll call him and he can make his request, then you
Well-
can tell him, but.
If he can discuss it, if it's for the upcoming budget, it's probably gonna be the board's prerogative to say we will address this usually during August.
Presented this.
Yeah.
Get through the nitty-gritty.
I mean, usually we do budget request amendments, coming up in August.
Yeah, because we gotta look at the big facts.
Yeah, 'cause we had to look at them. I mean, you know, most of the times when we start, they just turn them in July, and after August, we'll start doing budget meetings. And I think that's when they need to request for we can look at them, so when we do budget hearing, we just give them a budget hearing like we, you know, do the rest of them.
Okay, then I have something else that I need to address today. I'll just.
Hold on one second, Mr. Pratt, that you address, that address.
Okay, so then I guess I will present this then, which he was gonna do, but the, when looking it over, we had talked about, I called Paige because we had miscommunication about our tiered for our guards for detention, and realized, we thought we were gonna be asking for that this year, realized that it had been actually approved last year. For the tiered, pay for the guards after how long they've been there, and that had already been approved through the minutes. So I believe you should have some paperwork submitted for those guards.
Paula.
Yes,
Everybody said, yes, ma'am.
But is it within the budget?
it is. It is.
Brandon, have you checked?
I have not.
I had, that's the paperwork he has that he's bringing over, if you want me to wait a second for it,
Yeah.
but we can. But I've showed off the top of my head, but I don't want to give you the wrong figure, but we have extra funds in it right now in our budget, under that line for guards. The exact amount is right here walking through the door.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
you say this was approved last year?
So July 22nd, we actually called Paige about this, and last year it was, we were coming before the board again to ask to have that approved, and without our knowledge, we didn't know that it had actually gotten approved July 22nd of '22. So we have the paperwork putting in to asking for those tiered benefits for those guards, to actually put them to where they're supposed to be. We didn't understand that it had actually been approved already last year till I spoke to Paige, and she checked the minutes and it had been approved. So we never put that request in for those guards to get that tiered payments.
But you put the money in the budget.
Oh yeah, it's definitely in there. We still have some funds left. When I looked at it right now, it was like estimating what we're gonna spend for the next 2.5 months, and it was still gonna have like 64,000 left in that line item. So we have plenty in order to fix that and
Mr. President, the question I'm asking, you say it's enough money for the next 2.5 months, but is it enough money for a whole entire
so it's
year?
over 100,000 right now, and then the 64,000 is what's left. So yes, that would cover it for the entire year for next year.
Okay.
We didn't realize that it had already been approved, so we would have had it for this whole year, and then we would have been able to spend all that money, but unfortunately, it wasn't communicated that we had that already approved, so now we know, so we have the request in to bump up all the guards to where they should be. That was approved from last year.
And that's starting like.
We're gonna start in the next pay period.
Can't do red.
No, we're not asking for that, starting the next pay period, would be
Okay.
the official start date.
Okay.
Check it out anyway to make sure, double check.
Mary Kay, which line item was that for the?
It's under guards, it's 01222.
Okay.
For,
I got you. That's all. As long as I got that
Mr.
one.
President,
it's for the guards, okay?
this for the board. Now, we did give raises across the board, and when did we do that? Cause it wasn't last year, was it?
Yeah.
It was?
We got 5%. We did 5%.
Not last year, I don't believe.
We did.
22,
We did last year?
Last
year?
Right.
Okay, that's what you talking about.
So what this is this is a tiered thing, so you get hired at $12, then it was the tier that they get after their 6 months, after their 18 months, that kind of tier in order to keep these people. A lot of them are leaving, we have a lot of turnover, because they go to other places that are paying more money, so we said after first getting hired, they'll start at 12, and then they go up from that, so.
My question's gonna be this now. So, we gave across the board raise to all of our employees. And what I'm hearing from her is she had a tier raise in with the other raise. Is that what I'm hearing? And we approved the tier raise and the across the board raise. And that's what I'm hearing.
So what it would do is it would actually give them just that tier, it's not gonna give them anything more than that.
I understand what you're saying. I'm trying to get this clear with this board. I know we approved 5% raise for all of our employees, and some of them probably got more. But my question is, in the process of approving the 5% raise, did we also approve the step or the tier raise that she talking about? That's what need to be looked into.
So there's 66%.
That fund is at 66%.
How much, what's the difference it's gonna cost us to get them up to snuff?
Yeah, there's 128,000 left in that.
We can, do you know how much it would cost?
I don't have that figure in front of me, I can get it for you.
Because that's the question, whether it's in the budget or not. We'd be able to tell if they're at 66%, we should have a difference falling in our budget line or not.
Supervisor Gray, President Gaines, Supervisor Gray trying to say also, the $128,000 that you're talking about, you wanna make sure that that 5% is gonna come out of that $128,000 to pay them. And then funds are left to give them that tiers.
Right.
So it got to be enough to pay them that 5% plus the tier money. That's what he's talking.
I mean, there's, what should it be at, 70?
83%
83% right now, so 23% difference. Something we can sit here and figure out on our.
I mean, we can look at that a little later, right, determine that.
So, what we wanna do?
But what we're
Can
asking
we-
for there is those were tiered that were already approved from last year. We're just trying to bump people to where they were supposed to be. So we're not gonna approve that today?
We don't know whether we have approved the budget
funds,
amount
yeah.
on it. If it puts us over budget and they approve it, then we go over budget.
Do you have?
How are we gonna know that if we don't know what the difference of the cost is?
Okay,
So,
I'll get that to you.
Tell us that,
so
or
we want,
we could do it right now.
I don't have that in front of me. but
Either way, that's, you know, that's
Play
that's
with
the problem.
If y'all wanna do it
we,
pending.
that's what I tell you, because we wanna do a motion pending, pending financial review, you know.
Supervisors.
But, I mean, you know, the only thing, like I said, the only thing I can do is
Supervisor,
ask,
Mr. President.
yeah.
To really just handle this right, we can deal with it at the next board meeting, give her a proper opportunity just to investigate this right, because if they ain't got it in all this time, one more week ain't gonna hurt nothing. Then they can get it then. That's just my opinion. I mean, do what you want.
How long is it gonna take to review that?
I mean, I think Mary Kay's gonna calculate the.
I'll have it today, yes.
So we can approve it pending
I mean, if you
that it is in the
I can
budget?
have it for you today. I can have it for you today.
I mean, she gonna do the calculation by the time she do the
Yeah,
calculation.
we gonna be here, Bob.
We'll be here.
So don't be a calculation and we still be here. If you make it back and everything
time.
in order, then we approve.
Sure, I'll work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
We gotta make sure that.
can we do that?
I'm fine with that, yeah.
All right, all right.
Okay with that, I'll come back.
Do that, see can we get it, and we'll move forward.
Okay.
All right? What else you got, brother?
Does the judge have anything to say?
Well, I made him come over here and
If not, it'd
everything.
be the first time.
In that case, I'm gonna pass. I want to let y'all know that the detention center, though, we're doing a lot of business over there. We raised our rates a while back at y'all's request. We've taken in a bunch of kids from Louisiana, and they don't mind sending them over here and keeping them here a while. And so take a look at those numbers. I would venture to say, and I'm not a numbers person, she's my numbers person. I would venture to say that place is paying for itself and more right now. So just, and these guards, these are dealing with these kids. They're not, you can't just have anybody over there watching them, and we're having problems. Henry tells me that, he's got good people that are coming, and then Highway 84 is hiring, and I'm not suggesting paying the kind of money they're paying, but just a little bump would help them out a lot, and I don't think it would hurt a whole lot. And I'm willing to move some money around out of other parts of my budget into there to add to it.
Are those monies in separate accounts, the ones coming in from,
Yes,
so?
that goes
you have
straight to
money-
you, that goes straight to the county, that
So
money.
it's going to the general fund?
Yes.
Yes, because
Yeah.
we pull the
Yeah.
facility out of the general fund, so.
And then I just,
Just like everything else goes into the general fund, pretty much.
We're averaging about 500
Well,
I just don't want to lose any more boys, so if she gets that done in the
Yeah.
next couple hours, we'll be here and we can approve it.
Yeah, let's try to go ahead, if we would, let's just try to go ahead and get it figured so we can come back and get approval and we can move forward. So we're not rushing y'all, but we need to get the business, the figures together so she can check.
Check it out.
Will do.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Departmental report next.
Good morning, board. Brad Bradford, Adams County UMA Director. I got a couple things I just put out. Want to ask the board to allow me, we have a lot of COVID supplies, number of hand sanitizer, gloves, and things of that nature. Want to go ahead and give out to the public and also to any business that need it. We don't want to discard it. Want to make sure any resident that may have home health, individuals that can utilize the stuff, we want to go ahead and give it to those. So I need a motion to go ahead and give that stuff to
I
our.
heard the request of the EMA manager, been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been properly seconded by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays, have the same right, motion carried unanimously. All right?
Yeah, also I came to the board, last meeting, we talked about, having a debris, management contract put in place. I got with Meg and Robin, the road department, we sat down, we discussed it. They wanna put that in there, that's the annual bid, Robin? Included in the road department annual bid, for solicitation. So they'll manage that on that end of that. So just ask the board to rescind that other one, and we'll wait till August when they do their report and put it with that on their last, request.
So we need a motion to rescind, the EMA, director last request to hire a debris
Do a
management
debris management contract, okay.
contract. All right, can I get a motion?
You don't have to have a motion, it's too directed for him, so if we find, he's just gonna come out when Rob does it. So we're good.
We fine.
Yep, we're fine.
Okay.
Thanks, Ray.
All right. Also, just, we fixed one siren, I guess they taking turns breaking down. So the Broadmoor siren is down. Supervisor Gray called me, that lady didn't hear it. So my guys went out there and checked on it. So we're gonna need some repairs on it. So I did send out a message to the Broadmoor people, let everybody know, make sure you're on code red, that the siren will be down until we get parts in. Also with it, I know I did come to the board, we talked about a bucket truck. We're gonna have to get a bucket truck because we used Cox last time, and Southwest, did a favor with us coming out helping us do it, but we don't wanna keep going to the well and trying to get that, and with sirens being down, this time of year, we need to go ahead and try to get those back up fast as possible. So that's something we need to look at while we're doing this budget, to allow the road department to get a bucket truck to have in our inventory for things of that nature. So we're looking at, hopefully we can get the parts in and try to.
Did you include that in your budget request?
No, it's gonna have to go to the road, cause I can't legally have a bucket truck, so it'll have to go to the road department and we just co-utilize it. If the board approved that, I know we talked about it, we
Could
kept.
could you email that, the details of that with me and Robbie and Brandy, and then see if you can fit it into the budget request?
Yeah, I think what Shaki did, they did look at a lot of them, but they sold those already, so we have to go back and get the specs and stuff and try to redo all that. So, like I say, you know, I just wanna make sure if we're gonna do all this, the board's gonna approve of it.
All right.
Also, just to let you know, FEMA is looking at adding the heat to one of their disasters. So with that being said, how that will affect us, you know, by this area being in a heat stress and a lot of heat things, they will help compensate. If we open our safe room for cooling shelters, they will help compensate for our bills during the summer months and things of that nature. So that'll give us a little relief on those air conditioning bills, and also help with repairs and keeping that cooling shelter up. So they hadn't put it out yet, but that's some of the things they're looking at this year to try to add to the declarations on that.
All right.
All right. But that's all I have. Any questions from the board?
Anybody have any questions for the emergency management director? If not, well, we appreciate what you do, and we good.
Appreciate it.
Department reports next.
Morning, board.
Morning.
I'd like to clarify something while I'm up here though. Y'all know I take my notes and do, but y'all said last year, that was October 22, we did get a 5% raise. Mine showed.
You got
Y'all
$2.
got more.
Y'all got more.
$2.
I understand.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
different rate.
I thought it was in 21, I'm just checking. I
That was
thought
the
it was
difference.
21.
Yeah, it was the difference.
21, wasn't it? Thank you. I just want to clarify that I take my notes. So anyhow, back to my business. I have some trees. I turned some pictures in on 95 LaGrange and on Babin Lane, and I have one on Kingston Road. But the two at 95 LaGrange are dead pine trees. They're on the right of way. The one on Babin Lane fell not last night, but the previous storm. Part of it split, fell through a house. The other part split and hollered. So I do need to get, and I got one person that has given me a price. I'm waiting on the other one. I thought I'd have it this morning. I do not. But I need those two trees, those 3 trees I need taken down by a contractor. They're gonna take them down, we'll remove them. I just don't have the other price to compare prices yet. I think it's be within what I can do outside, but I just wanna bring it forward board. And then the one on Kingston Road is a tree leaning off the bank that the utility company's gotta go through a right of way, and we just need to cut it, let it fall, and then we'll clean it up. But I just wanna bring it forward board, try to get approval on those 3 trees. 2 of them need to be taken down by contractors, and the other one, we're gonna take it down, but I think I have it within my budget, I'm waiting on the price.
So you need a motion?
Correct.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I do have, there is another tree that you might wanna put on that list that I received a call about, near 1200 Lower Woodville Road. It's actually Supervisor Wilson, you know, we split Lower Woodville Road, it's on your side, but, Robbie, get with me and let's just, I rode out there, I couldn't see it.
1200?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it after the meeting, but, and it may not be anything, but if we're gonna do this, I wouldn't mind while you're doing, you know what I'm saying?
And like I said, I think that $5,000 threshold, and I can stay, I mean, it's up on the 2 in the range.
Well, let's just look, if possible.
Okay. Talk, because it's in power lines and stuff that they got to work through.
Right.
But we're gonna remove it. Okay.
All right. Vote. Any nays? Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Next thing I have, Been getting a lot of complaints, and I'm sure y'all supervisors have too, on some of these concrete roads. It's been overlaid with some asphalt, with these expansion joints in the concrete, which would be Kingston Road, Liberty Road, and MLK. Those are the three major roads that I'm having a lot of calls on. I've been trying to get someone to come in and give me a price on milling some of those joints down and all. Michael Blaine helped me out. I think Supervisor Wilson got with him. He called me, got me in contact with some people, and I've got some prices from A1 Ceiling, and they'll come in and do it. It's $2 a square foot, or it's $2,000 a day is what it's gonna be. But we got 28 spots on Liberty Road, several on Kingston Road, and then several on MLK. We're gonna try to get them mapped out and get them where they can get our money's worth at the end of the day. As far as it's $2,000 minimum, trying to, get them moving and do it, and we're gonna help try to move and flag traffic, try to keep it down to do it. But I just asked the board, could we get them in, try them, see how fast we're going, and see if we're, it's worth our money to do this.
All right. You heard the request of the road manager. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays, have the same right. Motion carried now. Right there.
Thank you. The mini excavator I got coming off in September, the board give me approval to go ahead and start advertising. But I've been checking, I checked to see if we can sell. They give us a guaranteed buyback when we buy it from Bucket or Strickland or whoever we purchase from. But I had a J.M. Woods come in and look, auction company, and that's who we sent our trucks through last time. Puckett guaranteed us $48,000 on the buyback. J.M. Woods guaranteed us $60,000, but then we got to pay the percentage, what it costs to sell and out. But we guaranteed $54,000, so that's $6,000 more, plus it brings more to auction than that. We get that too. So that's, it's $6,000 in our favor in the way you look at it. And I'd like to go with J.M. Woods when we get ready to take it off inventory.
All right, you heard the request of the road manager. What's the pleasure of the board? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, properly second by Supervisor Gray. There be any discussion? There be no discussion.
Mr. Attorney, nothing in that contract legally binds us to that buyback, does it?
No, it's not one of
Now, and you do, while we're talking about it don't bind us to it, you have the contract with J.M. Woods up there that needs to be signed, President. I think I set it up there.
We usually don't do buybacks, honestly.
We normally don't put them in auction, that's what I say, it's just a guarantee that,
It doesn't hurt you, but Meg and Robbie always take a hard look at them when it comes.
It's a guarantee, right?
yeah.
Have a contract?
You see it up there, President, I put it up there with those pictures, I think.
So these pictures here with?
No, sir, no, those pictures of the trees and stuff. That's contract right there, he has to sign.
That's what
This
the
is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially like I said, my stack.
That's it, President.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Thank you.
This contract you said need to be signed.
Yes.
All right. Can I get a motion to sign the contract with Jim Woods Auction Company?
Is that what we already?
We've already approved.
We just go with them so we can.
But you can carry it.
Is it
If
carried?
you- No, not, it hadn't carried yet, because we still in discussion. Any more discussion, Mr. Middleton? All right, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays, have the same right, motion carried now.
Okay, the other thing I had on my list, which I spoke with it about earlier, was the election committee, Mr. Gardner. We're gonna send out the, morning and the evening drop off of the boxes the day before and the day after, to each precinct. So, we will get that to every supervisor, where y'all can get it to y'all's precincts and let them know what time, they'll be expecting them there. I just want to bring that up.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Donald, make sure you get mine a little earlier than that, cause I'm dealing with a school that's closed. And, I don't know, I know they're not gonna be open. So I need to get mine a bit earlier than that, where I can get with the proper people to make sure that that place is open.
Alright, like I said, we just got this email from them, we don't put them in the order, but they do have them here, I'll read them off. And
I just need Fraser.
Well, excuse me, Supervisor Griffin, if I'm not mistaken, from the correspondence I get, the election commission is setting up when they put them out and who's doing it. So I think the proper one you need to get with is the election commission.
That's what I'm saying, they just want to email.
You already got it.
Yeah, I got it here, but I don't.
You got the
see it.
times on there that they're.
It just says morning and afternoon, the one this
See,
morning
they
is
got no
gonna be these, and one's afternoon will
So
be
we can't
these.
tell them what time and what. They have to sit there all day.
No, they ain't gonna sit there.
I know they're not, because I got that problem last time where they kept going backwards and forwards.
We had a process that was halfway working and then they changed it. They wanna do something different.
You say Fraser, is that Concord, Carter?
No, that's, north side.
North side.
North side.
Alright,
So they do have, whether it's morning or noon, right?
correct.
Okay.
And that'll be
That's
sent
what
out
I'm
to y'all
gonna
this afternoon.
Okay,
That'll be
right.
sent to each one of y'all this afternoon. Okay. Okay. The tractors, Mr. Slover took care of that. The push and shove winter storm, got an update on that, from the winter storm that the county done the push and shove. We should be receiving sometime this week another $61,173.24. That leaves $252,000 into that for them to send us, that they owe us, that we should be getting, but we will be getting the $61,173, I hope this week. That's what the county's done on the leaners and hanger part. We get us $6,490 should be coming this week, and they'll still owe us about $300,000 more coming on the leaners and the hangers.
They gonna pay us interest on that money, how they hold?
I just, we checking every week on it, we trying to, get the money in, so
Okay,
that's where we at with it.
You say 6,400?
It's $6,490, that's coming from the leaners and the hangers, and the $61,173.24 coming from the push and shove the road department did. President Gaines, you have 4 new hires up there for me, I ain't gonna.
And while President Gaines looking for it, the last time these people was over here, Win Job Center, have we got hooked up where we can, oh, they don't do that no more, though, right? Run our employees do that where we can, where they can pay.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard, I mean, the last time I talked to them, they were still providing.
Yeah.
I thought they were doing that, we're gonna get with HR on the
All these
services.
people we hired, and we not running them through.
I mean, I think.
Human
what you
resource,
said-
you know, the last time we spoke with them, he spoke with human resource. So all we have to do now is human resource get with him and let him know everyone that's coming through her hiring process and being able to go to the Win Job Center.
In the past, on those, if you've had a training, the more training that you have, or training program that you had, the longer that program will last, up to 6 months. But if it's just, they don't just pay automatically for 6 months. So to take full advantage of it, you really need to do a bunch of training, have a, system like that in there. So,
You don't see them present.
I have one, Mr. Alfonso.
No, that's his 6-month raise, he's been here 6 months, he's going to get his dollar. I do everybody that way after 6-month probation.
But we can do him, cause all I have is new hires and sheriff deputy, I don't have any.
When I get through, I'll check to see how come they're not over here, or, find out what's wrong. But I do have 4 new ones that I was trying to go for office tonight. The background check, drug screen.
I'm sure they ain't open much there.
Make sure, it might be.
If it's within the budget, we can approve it. It's really a program that you've got to work with this group if you want to take advantage of it. It's not just
No,
somebody
it
that
is,
pick up
some of the stuff is his
your wages,
I just wanna make sure something else.
Oh, it's within my budget, I do that here, I'm out to, yeah.
Yeah. But you want to move forward with the
Yeah,
job
let's
raise,
move,
Mr.
Mr.
Stokes?
Fonzo, please.
I do have the paperwork for the increase, Mr. Stokes. And it's, 6 months. Can I get a motion? Been properly moved by Supervisor, Middleton and properly second by Supervisor Gray. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried now.
Thank you.
All right.
Next thing I had to talk about is this boring. You know, we went through, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago or longer, whatever, on getting permits and going through them. We discussed it a few meetings ago, again, about do the contractors know where to go or how to get permits. I don't know where we went with that direction, but I do know that they were gonna have to get permits, and I think go to Miss Lewis, it was 200, 250, whatever it is, or.
The boring ones go to Corvette and the construction
Okay.
ones come to us.
We're still having a lot of issues with this. I had a road fall in, a new blacktop road, we just blacktop Whitman Road. Got a big hole, yes, sir. Got a big hole, fell in on it, got with the contractor that was doing it. They're going out to make the repairs on it. I have some more that I checked on, I took pictures of Thursday. They belong to a different contractor, out in the Grange area, and then I spoke with another contractor on Liberty Road. So they're all going out to look, I think, about making their repairs, but we're having a lot of damage behind them once they move on. I mean, like I said I think it was 2 meetings, 3 meetings ago, I talked about steam plant, Cemetery Road. Now we're here at Quitman Road, or New Blacktop Road, like I said, we're LaGrange Road, Liberty Road now. I don't know what direction we need to go, but, we're still having a lot of problems.
What did we put up, make them put up for a bond?
$250.
$250, okay, that's not enough. We're gonna have to get up to 2,500 or something, and until the road manager approves the completion of the work, like we do all the other contractors, they don't get it back until it's been approved.
I don't really know they're here till I see them working, to be honest with you. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. You know,
What are other counties doing? Does anybody have any idea?
Yes.
Okay.
They're out working, I mean.
Mr. President,
Yes.
it's not 250, that's the filing fee for the permit. The engineer estimates the cost that will be posted, and they're the ones that provide an amount that's payable. So the engineer gives you what this would cost based on what they're trying to do, and then they're supposed to post it after that. It's a non-refundable filing fee of $250 to pay for the engineer to give that estimate, basically.
We need some kind of bond.
That is, the engineer, you pay the filing fee, it goes to pay the engineer who estimates how much cost it's gonna take to bore. They then have to post that amount.
Okay.
And so there is a bond in place for it.
So who, are these bonds being given back to the people that are doing the boring?
Yeah.
And then 6 weeks later, we got roads collapsing and.
Doesn't sound like they're doing.
And that's what I say, Supervisor Wilson, I don't think since we put this in place, we've been collecting the fee. I don't think anybody contacted the county to do that work.
Yeah, there's not a specific deadline of when the bond's released. It might leave it in there as a reasonable, as when the engineer thinks that it should be covered for.
So do we have any bonds out there that people that are boring that the county is holding, or?
Did they ever came back with posted upon?
I don't do the borings, we just do the construction, Corvette does the boring permits.
Okay. Well,
So at the end of the day, if somebody come to Adams
Oh, sorry, I'm
County
going backwards.
and wanna dig up any parts of our road, they need to contact the road department?
Yeah, that's it.
Or the Chancery Clerk's office and get a permit. And the,
But what he's saying, they're not doing it, so.
in the violation, it's strictly liable for the road at that point.
What is the consequences for not doing exactly what you just said?
They're strictly liable for any damage whatsoever on the road, even if it's not their fault, and they could be fined. It's a misdemeanor.
So what we need to do is make an example out of somebody. Maybe this needs to be the first one we need to make an example out of.
Well,
Both of them.
anytime a contractor has to do any boring or digging or something, you have to call 811, and get everything marked. And must have to do the same thing, so how do we make it part of their procedure that they have to contact the road department for Adams County.
That was my question, how did this information get to those contractors? And I don't think it got to, you know, I don't know steps of that, how they get to each contractor that does this type of work.
Good question.
Yeah, they're supposed to be getting permits and everything, you know.
But I'm
before
saying-
actually issues the permit.
Do they need to
But
be emailed far as like AT&T, Entergy,
No, they need a certified letter.
correct, is what I'm asking, to let them know we do have something in place that they do need to contact.
And I think that's what we need to move forward with, making some kind of motion or whatever that allowing, if it's the chancellor, attorney, whoever, the legal person, to send all of these folks from the, phones, the, cable, the people who are boring, they need to have some notification that when they are boring our roads on the side of our road, they need to have permission from the county, so we'll know who boring. Most of the time you ride out, you see people boring, we don't even have a record on file, so we don't even know who to contact unless you literally go out there and you see who it was and get a name off the truck. So, Scott, excuse me, Scott, Brandon, I don't know which one would it be, because I think they're filed through the transfer if
They
I'm
are.
not,
We've only had one so far.
so,
And we can get with Robbie too, and with George to find out who is actually, we want the people that actual notice, the company's actual notice of this, because they'll cooperate if they know. That's been my experience with utilities.
so do I need a motion, or is something that's already in place that you can do? You can take care of it? Okay,
So.
well, I need you to take care of, move forward on that, yes, sir, Mr.
Mr.
Grant?
President, that's the question he was asking. So if we got something in place, how would the people know that we got it in place?
That's what they
I
just said.
just gave them, that's what I, yeah,
That's what he was asking.
But that's what I say, like Mr. Stutzman comes in with the satellites and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
towers, phone towers and things. They contact him, all fees have been paid, everything's in order, you know, he presents that to the board, so you know that's in place for them to do that. I think that's what I mean, I know what I'm asking, is
Yeah.
that what
They're gonna
they
certify
need to do,
that.
That's
is let
what
us.
they need to do.
Correct.
And we'll get together and
Okay.
find out how we can contact these people to give them actual notice to make sure it gets done.
Okay.
They are already on notice legally speaking, everyone is for ordinances, you don't have to give them, we enacted an ordinance, and they're on, public notice for that, everyone is on the law. But we just want to communicate with these utility companies, once they know, they'll start following through. I mean, those utility
They
companies.
gotta know they can't come to somebody's
Well-
community and just start digging holes and just mess things
If
up.
you look at some of those pictures, they're obviously not packing the holes back, and when it rains, they're sloughing off and sinking in. That's what part of the problem is right there. They're doing half-baked jobs and they're not finishing them up because they don't have any accountability.
And they're not maintaining.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right,
It's
well,
like EWP.
we'll move, and now we know what process that we have, and we're gonna move forward with, making sure our chancellor and our lawyers get with those necessary people, and we'll monitor, through the road department or however we need to monitor. All right, next,
All
Rob.
right, get back to EWP, now that Mr. Middleton just mentioned that. Our EWPs, and it ain't one contractor, we got two contractors doing two different locations or whatever out there. We having issues and big issues on one. We had other issues that I had this morning. We contacted them, first time was in January, and we've been trying to contact them since. We're working through the engineering company, emailing him, he's emailing them. He did email them last Thursday, said this is our third attempt to reach out. We cannot get all our money from Water and Soil Conservation or EWPs if we don't get the contractors to finish their job. These have been going on a while with this contractor. He sent an email back yesterday, respond back, I got there this morning, was reading them about where he had finished and done a punch list. That's not correct, so I've been this morning texting back and forth with the engineering company that's overseeing those, and this is the last.
Who overseeing?
JKS is overseeing these sites. So, I'm gonna meet with them in the morning at 8 o'clock. I got it set up this morning on that. But that's just entirely too long, that it takes that long to get a contract due for the county to get our money back. And then Mr. Ford with IMS had put a clause in theirs, and which is a good clause, that once they go in and make the, we got a year warranty on them. Then after that, the county owns them for life. Well, Mr. Ford put in here, if you're gonna make a repair on this section on this site, that gear starts over on that section, which is a great clause that needs to be put in there. So I think we're moving forward in that right direction on that, but we still have some issues with that, you know, with another contractor doing something for him. And me and him spoke Thursday about it and hoping they're moving, but I know that rain last night caused a bigger gap, and it's a pretty good site and it's a big site. So, they're not just finished when they get there. I mean, I know y'all know that, but it is a big problem to us to have to try to stay behind the contractors, because we look at them on a local level every day. I mean, it's hard for IMS to look at them, the contractor, and I can go back and look at them. They want you to come. It is one contractor that will go back and look at it and come back and do his warranty work or continue to do work. But I just wanted to mention that, you said EWP, we are having trouble, and like I said, we got some that's over a year out that we haven't got our money, and we need to get our money. If I don't get it resolved by 8 in the morning, then I'm gonna need to get with you slow. Move forward.
Yeah.
Have we paid them all their money? JKS, have they paid?
No.
That's what I say, they can't get paid because these people won't come back and do what they're doing, we can't get paid. And he has sent them 3 emails, I mean, he's copied me in all 3 emails, but it's the contractor.
Same contract?
No.
Who's the contract? Open and Camo?
So we're gonna work forward with those. And
Open construction.
I just, you know, I want to bring that forward board, let y'all know where we at on them, because we need all our money.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
And to this board, I mean, this sounds, crazy to me. The contractor is not doing what they're supposed to do, but they continue to bid on contracts and get additional work. Where you do that at, man? If you don't take care of your business, and don't come back and try to take care of your business, and we can't get in touch with you, why we continue to get them business? They need to be off the list completely.
It says lowest or best bid, so, just because it's lowest doesn't mean it's best, so we might have to.
Which you just include
Change
that type of
parameter.
stuff in your bid specs, that you'll review that type of stuff, and you can exclude them for things like that.
That's what we need to do.
I've got that on my list, we're gonna talk to George about.
So we'll make sure we add that in our bid spec. We're not having a good job done. You know, that's something that need to be added to our bid specs. And that way everybody have a clear understanding of where we're going. And I totally agree with you on what you said. All right?
That's all I have.
We have 2 questions. She have a question and
Okay, for the attorney. I know they were just awarded another bid. Is there any way we could hold up on that bid until they?
Well, it's not the.
It's not.
It's not that. It's not that.
Oh, okay.
It's not that.
Okay.
But to answer your question, it's 50 when that happens, so.
yeah.
And we try to watch that angle, we do, I mean, me and
Yeah.
Scott spoke last time,
Yeah.
he's come straight to me with it,
Asked about that.
he's come straight to me with it. So, we do try to watch that.
Yeah,
We just
make
try
sure
to
it's
keep
not
it,
the
you know,
same.
but- Correct,
Okay.
so, yeah.
All right, Robert. I do have a grant from Meg. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is group number 2, punch list, is it finalized?
Group 2, group 3 is the one I was talking about, I mean, do y'all have 2? Y'all have 2?
This is, this is
Uh,
gonna be JKS.
Group 2, what roads are that? Is that 84, 3 and 8040? I don't have them with me. That was finalized.
I'll
So
tell you, group 2 on one
everything
second.
is finalized on it?
If it's 80, I know 84 was on it, Cemetery Road was on it.
Because we're holding a check, so I just
Yeah,
want to
that
make
should
sure.
be finalized. Hang on, but let it look.
Yeah, group 2 is Cemetery Road, Churchill Road, and Old 84.
Correct, they finalized, that's it.
I'll tell you Lisa.
But we want to get our, request from from NRCS to get our money reimbursement back on that. Is any checks being held from the engineer?
No,
Yes,
this is
it's a
a
contract.
Just the contractor, right?
Yeah,
That's fine, but if there's any money go to the engineer, we make sure we have what's
Well, if
owed
there is, something's in.
on NRCS.
yeah,
All right.
they filed, they released that, they have been filed.
Okay.
then we should be able to get reimbursed for it,
Right,
correct?
then we get it.
Okay.
Okay, you got that?
I'll tell her to release that.
Okay.
You got that request or
Yeah.
route two?
Shit, no, we request, that request was finalized all that sometime back, they were just told to check until they got the punch list finished. I asked the board not to release it, and the punch list is finished.
I'm talking about NRCS, we got the reimbursement over to NRCS for that amount on route two, you know?
I don't know if we have it, I will ask them.
All right, we'll find out about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because now that route two's done, we wanna make sure we
Correct.
request money.
And like I said, I gotta meet at 8 o'clock tomorrow, I'll ask you that with you.
All right.
Rob,
Yeah.
did you have something? Our satellite garbage stations, are they back in online? They're not shut down anymore for?
No, sir, they're not shut down. They were down, back through the 4th of July. They were down 12 days through there, Mr. Wilson. They did bring, that was the 12th day, they brought another extra container to both locations. Had I think another contract truck problem in for them, but they did get their truck up and they are running and they are taking care of them. We were down 12 days.
Okay, that's why we got so many calls on that. Okay, I appreciate it.
President,
Go ahead.
right before you leave, I was riding, and, maybe, I don't know, I can't see that well for away, but check on them levees that we did. Look like, is a tree growing up in them things? Some part of that levee that we, doing? Yeah. Bellwood. Just ride it and check it out.
I will. You know, they,
Cause
well, keep some of that
if
clip,
a tree,
what they were doing.
if
in
a tree
that
is
one.
growing up
Yeah.
and that tree pop, then you gonna have a big old hole
Yeah.
in the levee. We don't want that to happen.
Okay. All right, I'll look at it. Thank you. I'm gonna find out about the code. Thank you.
All right, I don't probably need them, but the last couple of meetings we did, reimbursement for, that's made through the, clean up sites, the grants that we had. We got a, request for a reimbursement of $1,500 with, $5,700 of grant funds remaining. I just, ask for a motion to accept the, request to get $1,579.
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. I guess second.
Second, that's for the cleanup?
Yeah, that's the same thing, yeah.
Second.
John Gray.
Okay.
Been properly moved, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous. All right, next,
Just updates, really. Like I mentioned earlier, phase 2 of Morgantown Road will be on Tuesday, August the 8th at 10 o'clock a.m. The EWP for Magnolia Bluffs, 2 sites in Lincoln Heights. We did submit the fund increase to NRCS, so we are requesting board authorization to allow the board president to sign the new notice of award document in the event that that increase is approved. So I won't have to wait until another board meeting if it comes before.
you heard the request of the, engineers been. What's wrong?
It's the new notice of award once the funding increase, if the funding increase is approved for that EWP project.
We did the paperwork last time, correct?
Yeah.
We signed the paperwork last
No,
meeting?
no, we submitted a request. If it's approved, they're gonna send us a new notice of award with the new dollar amount in it. The president will have to sign that and we'll submit it back. So I'm being proactive and trying to get approval for him to sign that document.
Moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
This will be the EWP project 5306. That is Magnolia Bluff Site 2 and 3, as well as 24 Lincoln Heights. And for that same project, we're requesting board's approval to allow the board president to sign the contract once the contractor submits it back to us for authorization.
You heard the request of the engineer. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray, Proper second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
The pre-construction meeting for the SAP 01 9.5M, the striping only project. We had the pre-construction meeting on Thursday. Based on the meeting with the contractor and the road department, the contractor believes they can begin work on July the 24th. So we will submit a notice to proceed for July the 24th. They're anticipating to take 3.5 days, so they should be complete that same week.
All right.
We did submit the Safe Roads and Streets for All grant. So I guess we just wait on if whether or not it gets approved or not, once they do the funding announcements. And for the MCWI grant for Deerfield Road, we did submit the quarterly report on last week as required. And as it relates to the construction portion of it, with the project estimated cost being below the threshold for advertisement and bids, it is recommended that we have to take at least 2 competitive quotes for that project before we can actually award it to someone to do the work. So we're requesting authorization to secure those 2 quotes for Deerfield Road.
You heard the request of the engineer. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray.
Second.
Proper second by Supervisor Hutchins. Is there any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
That's all I have on my update. Are there any questions?
I do have something here in my hand. This is from state aid. The inspection of our bridges, state aid standard SA BP 13. We need posting of photographs in digital format at each bridge from each approach, showing complete posting and clearly showing that the bridge number shall be sent by certified mail or email to the county engineer and state aid engineer on or before August 11, 2023. When emailing, posting documentation, sending to that bridge. But those bridges are included is Upper Kingston Road, Low Water Bridge, Pickering Road, Second Creek, Coles Creek, and Oldham Bayou. Are you familiar with any of that?
I can, once I get back to the office, I can see it because I have it in the mail. You usually email me a hard copy as well.
Well, all you gotta do is do that. Email him.
They didn't post any, send me the pictures, and I'll send them to state aid.
All right, and I have another one here. We got another, as required by law, I'm not gonna read the code, but it's a written notice that Adams County has $171,000, $556.24 eligible to be forfeited unless a good cause is shown and approved by the state engineer by October 3rd, 2023.
Yes, I talked to Scott about that. Typically what we do with that is we submit a letter to state aid, telling them what project we plan to program using that money. And then once we just submit that and determine what project we're gonna use it toward, they just give us an extension of those funds.
Okay, just wanna make sure that we're aware of that and bring it to the board attention. All right, if anybody else have anything else for the engineer?
I got some, just for Wynota Road, we were supposed to put a speed bump or so on that, and did you ever get the paperwork with the signatures on it
I don't know.
for approval?
I don't remember, I got the one.
We got it, it was 2 signatures like, somewhere in translation it got misplaced. I told the lady I would check back with her, but first I wanted to check with you, Robbie, and then don't have it, Wes, you don't have it. Somehow I got Wes's file for a while, but anyway, she got all the signatures and we were gonna put a speed bump there, but we never did. And apparently the affidavit's been lost, I guess. Robbie, you remember anything about that? Wynota? Yes.
That road, you said you'd lacking 2 signatures and the lady came by or made
Got the
contact.
signature,
She
got it back,
it.
but I don't know who ended up with it. And they've been breaking up trash, and that's why your guys went out there. I'm gonna have to look at it myself and figure out where we're gonna put that sign up that says, you know, no littering, if that's gonna help any at all. Good parenting would do a better job than anything on that.
Are there any more questions from the board?
That's all I had for you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right,
Well, as always, I appreciate you all the time.
all right, thank you. All right, I will go back to, before we go, Robert just, got the paperwork over and had it inside. We have a, Christopher Hayes, road department as a grass cutter, starting at $13. Matthew Isabel, $13. Have a operator, equipment operator at $13.50 with, Ryan Elmore. I have Marcus Brown as a truck driver, $13.50. I do have all four of them, all paperwork is signed. I need a motion to hire.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson, and it's been properly seconded by Supervisor Hudson, am I correct? Okay. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion?
I do. And they will be on 6 month probation, it'll be $1 after 6 months. And I've got a form here, she just, give me upstairs that she's gotta be formed out, that when you do this, you've got a pay change coming, just fill it out for the new employees. So I'm gonna get that filled out and get it her, but they will be just like all the employees.
I think we're gonna edit that too.
That's what I asked her, and I think she's already edited it.
And all in favor, okay, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous.
Thank y'all.
Yes, ma'am. It's Ronnie Elmore, Marcus Brown,
Christopher Hayes,
and
Matthew Isabel.
Matthew, yeah, is. All right, that's been all, Robin?
That's it.
All right.
All I have, thank y'all.
Department reports next. That's you, Sheriff. They been already? Okay.
Do you have something?
Yes.
Okay.
Look.
Good morning. We wanted to ask, with the pool being closed and we have like this last session of swim lessons already paid for and everything, and by the time we open back up, they'll be back at school. We wanted to know how we go about, giving their refunds, because we don't keep any money there to give anybody a refund, like everything is already deposited.
Just make them do a request and we can look at it together, process it, and see if we can give them a refund and whatnot. That's what I would suggest.
Mr. President.
Cause they been
In my opinion is you only can get paid for the service that you render. If the service is not there, you cannot keep these people money. So we need to find a way legally to refund these people their money if we can't render the service. That's just my opinion.
I absolutely agree, and we want to make sure we refund for services not rendered, but we don't do anything that is illegal. The legal question is what's important. So getting the request and making sure we look at everything right, I just want to make sure it's done right to protect y'all.
Yeah, cause I know some would probably mind if once we open back up, we start them then, but I know the majority of them do want it.
Yeah, and I know there's not enough money in it for any of y'all. We're trying to do the right thing. I just want to keep it legal.
And also, the last meeting that I was at, did everyone approve the budget, not the budget increase, the increase for the lifeguards and everything, cause that still hasn't taken place on their paychecks or anything?
I thought we approved it.
I did.
It's been approved.
It was approved.
The lifeguard increases?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it was approved.
Yeah, cause they haven't received those. And
So
also,
they have been paid and didn't get the increase?
They haven't gotten,
So it'll just go on their next checks then. It'll go on their next check.
So, Mr. President, let me ask you a question. Okay, we approved with the dollar or whatever increase.
That's it.
And once we approve it, then where it needs to go to make sure that they get the increase.
So I don't know, I mean,
Cause evidently they didn't go there. They didn't get-
before the winter, we paid the bill, but I was thinking, it should've went
The in lieu form would have gone down to bookkeeping.
to bookkeeping.
It was changed.
That's what I thought. It should've been in bookkeeping, because the city had previously already approved it. When they came, you know, we put it on hold till the city approved it. They approved it, they came back.
Yeah,
So-
HR, and then HR sends it to bookkeeping.
So can we send something to HR to make sure bookkeeping, know that it was approved, where these people can get their money?
I'll send Brenda and Sharon.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right?
Okay, also, they did get the recertification for the lifeguards as well, they didn't get refunded that back either, and y'all approved it as well. Like, none of this, I guess none of what we talked about that day was approved, like the increase, I did all that in one day, remember, the recertifications for the lifeguards, they were supposed to get their refunds, it was just 2 of them.
If they approved that, it may have not gone on the docket until this meeting. Was it approved at the last meeting? Okay, if it got approved at that meeting, then it won't go on the docket until this meeting. So,
Okay.
yep, yeah, so that,
I just had 2 of them though.
okay, I'll double check, what were their names?
Mallory Ford and Caitlin Temple, it was just 2.
I'll check with accounts payable and just see if those are on the docket.
So as far as the refund, do we need to submit a list of the people, like how many that we have who need a refund for some lessons, or do you need the names, how do you go about it?
Names and amounts, Scott?
Yeah, how many names, how many service, things that they got, and how many did they have missing, and how much they paid?
Yeah, they do it, $60 for 2 weeks, and we had approximately, the listings were filled, so I say we get 6, I say like 24 sessions, so it's like 24 people. And like, a few of them said they'll just, wait till next year and they can just pick up, on those sessions.
But make sure you have those noted, and that way we can do it all in order.
Yeah. We need a list of who need a refund, a list of who's gonna wait. We need all that, so when we do one motion, we're gonna take it all at one time.
It spells out everything, here's what we got,
Yeah,
here's
this is
what
what's gonna happen.
Okay.
And one last thing, the last time I was trying to order chemicals, they said we didn't have enough in our budget.
We double checked and you did,
So
yeah.
it was enough for everything?
It was, in that particular line item.
Okay.
We just took it out of another line item.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
I talked to purchasing.
Okay, thank you.
All right? All right, Sheriff.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We have had a tough weekend at the sheriff's office. And so, I'm just grateful for me and all my deputies to still be here. We had a jail assault Friday on one of the staff by one of the mental health patients that we have. And right now, we're about 50% staff with mental health patients right now in the jail. I just want y'all to know that. After that, everybody knows about the unfortunate incident that happened, that I'm so grateful that my guys were able to walk away from it. And even though it was a bad situation, I still feel for the family as well. Anytime you have any kind of loss like that, it is a very sombering and painful thing. So I'm not going to act like I'm not glad my guys walked away, because that was one of the most chaotic things that I've had to deal with so far as sheriff. And the best part of the thing about that is that those guys who showed up out there, they were CIT trained, crisis intervention trained officers, and they did everything they could to escalate that until de-escalate that. I'm sorry, you're right, Scott. Thank you for correcting me. To de-escalate that until the other party changed the terms of engagement. So, and then while we were out there, right around the corner, we had another guy commit suicide while we were on that call. So I've reached out, of course you already read in the paper, and Jan was correct in what she put, that we reached out to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations. They're handling the officer involved shooting And what will happen is after they complete their investigation, then it'll be passed on to the DA's office. And I'm telling you all this because I know you're gonna get questions from the public. And just know that we're not investigating this. We responded to the call and we took action the way we did, but the state is the one who's handling all that. So when you get those calls, just tell them to call the state because a third party is investigating and not us. What I do want you all to know though is I reached out to some of those networking partners that I'm always talking about. I reached out to the FBI to get peer support. They're gonna fund it and they're gonna pay for it for our entire agency because I know y'all can see how I'm feeling right now. I knew the young man who's deceased and I know those 2 officers that were sent out there and it was just a bad situation for everybody. You know, you hear it all the time when you talk about domestics and how bad they can get and how toxic they can be. And this was a result of one of the most toxic domestics that we've been dealing with for years. And it just kept coming back. But anyway though, I want y'all to know when y'all see all those feds in town this week, they're coming to offer counseling and support to the entire sheriff's office because we've had a very tough weekend. Anyway, moving on. I do need to transfer some money, Ms. Chancellor Clerk. We want to transfer $1,200 from travel to K9 supplies so we can continue to feed the sheriff's office dogs. And those numbers are going to be from 001-221-475, and we're asking to transfer $1,200 from that to 001-221-625.
Right, you have paperwork?
Yes.
All right, so you heard the request of the sheriff. Can I get a motion?
So
Okay, properly moved by Supervisor Hudson, properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sound of aye. Any opposed, nay, cast same right, motion carried now.
Next thing I have, I did check on that supervisor group, right? There is no relation. They confirmed no relation. And so I do have 3 hires for the jail. I'm just gonna say Miss Connor because I don't want to butcher her first name. Brishana, I believe that's how you pronounce her first name. Brishana Connor. All these gonna be the same rate of pay, $13.23 an hour. All of them are previous correction officers with experience. The second one is Michael Webster. We had that paper corrected, supervisor grade that you had. It's actually Michael Webster.
So it's a corner, I got Michael Webster and Michael Corner.
Yeah, the Connor is wrong. The Webster is correct. They had it filled in on the paper wrong.
Oh, this no good.
Yeah, the Connor is wrong. And the other one is Derricka Blanton.
Yeah, I do have all the necessary paperwork. First request of the sheriff, can I get a motion? It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins, properly second by Supervisor Wilson. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sound aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried.
That's all I have in reference to that. I do want to say one other thing that I am going to try to get next year. And I'm trying to get it in the budget. I'm trying. But, you know, body cams show certain pieces of things and they show what they show. Especially when you're trying to take cover and you move and all. We used to, at one point, we had car cameras in the cars that are stationary. And I'm gonna try to seek grants with you all permission. I'm gonna try to find some grants to buy some in-car cameras for our patrol. Because as I said, I don't know if you've ever had somebody coming after you and shooting at you with a gun, but that's a very traumatic thing. And so you're moving all over the place and you're gonna get what you're gonna get. But those car cameras don't move like that body cam will because your body, you're trying to take cover, you're trying to make sure that you react correctly to save your life and everybody else. And that's one thing that I realized. I've been thinking about it for a minute, but just been trying to find the money for it. But I'm asking the board permission to try to find some grants to go to car cameras.
Motion for that.
You heard the request of the sheriff. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Wilson, properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carries unanimous.
Appreciate you all, that's all I have.
All right, thank you,
all.
Sheriff.
All right.
Got a social for the sheriff.
Sheriff, yeah.
Yes.
Because this still was gonna be doing my, report back in action now. On those NOLA cameras, did you ever find out if that one was working out at the range of the parks? Because we got someone out there that's on those four-wheelers, and they on the court that we just did, on the basketball court, making donut holes, just spinning on it.
We drove out there, I actually drove him out there that day. And so I haven't talked to him since then, but he called the guy right there while I was in the car. And so I need to follow back up with him, but if you got that going on, I have some additional cameras that I can put out there
Please
as
do.
well until, if it's not already done.
Right.
But I will find out today and let you know today. But I do have some additional cameras.
Put them up high.
I got you, we will. We'll use that bucket truck Brad keep asking.
Yeah.
We'll get them up high though. I do have some additional cameras that we can put up out there high, to do that. But I'll call and find out and I'll let you know because the repair guys were here. I just hadn't had a chance to follow back up and see how many of them they got done. Some of them were simple as a power connect. You know, some of them were, we even went out to Kingston to that one too to see if it could be readjusted as well on some things, but they did a lot that day. I'm just not sure I don't want to give you any bad information.
Yeah.
So I'll find out
And if
today.
not, can you get those other cameras up?
Oh yeah, I'll get them both. I'll
That's
get them out
crazy.
there.
I mean, you just do a new basketball court for them.
And
And
they
they
out
up
there
there with four-wheelers riding on them, packing up the concrete.
I hope it is. I hope it is, but if not, I have 4 other ones that we can get out there today.
Okay, sounds great.
All right.
Thank you.
And, while we're talking about cameras, I was talking to Paige and, I know Sheriff, you were looking at the Country Club in Broadmoor with those folks, but, I need a motion to approval, for those 2 cameras that
So moved.
Broadmoor Country Club.
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray and properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any more discussion? All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carried. And so, whenever you get a chance, I know it's been really, really busy. I know they're working on it. And so, you know, just, they can get us an update. I just wanted to make sure we clear the minutes and let us know.
Now, we went out there to Broadmoor Ballpark, and the only thing we was needing, I think, we figured out what we can run power to it. We just need to get the power to that one camera from that pole out there.
Okay.
That is it. So if we can get y'all assistance on that, it'd be great.
I mean, tell them to go ahead and get the power done, I mean,
It's the county pole, that's why we.
if you get it done.
Jocelyn and Shannon's and every other budget amendment request, it was just to, y'all had some seized funds, or some Metro North seized, not awarded, there were some funds in your receipt fund, 18,000, and they were requesting for that to be moved to 113,000,000,003. I think that was the only other one. It was just moving money that was in a receipt fund over, so,
So we need a motion for that one.
yes, sir.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk, can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been properly moved by Supervisor Middleton, properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right, motion carries unanimously.
That's
All right, that's it.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
All right, now we're down to public comments. Any public comments? Ms. Rob?
Good morning, Board. My name is Robert Waldrop. I represent Paradox Hunting Lodge down on Carthage Point Road, and I come up here May the 15th, I believe it was, and made a presentation to y'all about leasing the contractor's parking lot at the paper mill. And I was just wondering if y'all would come up with the answer.
He was here, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, and, with everybody familiar with it, he checked with
Matches.
Natchez Inc. to make sure it was gonna be there, he checked with Robin to make sure it's gonna be okay, so what's the pleasure of the board?
So moved.
Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Wilson. There'll be a discussion.
Yeah, I have the resolution in the lease available, basically give them a little bit of area below that bank area where the old bank was, where he can put some stuff. It's just so he can store stuff, equipment during flood events, that's it. And if we need it for industrial reasons, we can either move them off or just say, y'all gotta go find someplace else. It's a 60-day notice. He's agreeing, or his group will agree to provide us the material and right of way that we need to improve Cartridge Point Road. That would, yes, sir. That would be, probably easier for us than going through the normal right-of-way process.
All right, Mr. Graham.
I'm good with it now that the attorney explained exactly what's gonna go on, because I don't like approving something before, the paperwork is done, but since he explained exactly what's gonna be on the lease agreement, then I don't have a problem with it.
All right, any more discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nays have same right, okay?
I've got one request. I talked to Robbie. I just need him to send a bush hog down there and cut the boundary line. I know when I'll maintain it after we do it the first time.
All right, well, I think you already talked with,
Yeah.
Rob.
Put that into the lease, that way it's.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
It will be
we
maintained.
won't have a problem with it, all right?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
All
Ross.
right, any more? So now I come to the table, Supervisor Gray.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, I think we go over this, now simply goes out to the Stempley, the Dixon, the Albemarle, and the Dale family. I just want to say that, Sheriff, I'm just like you, nobody want to see nobody lose their life, and I'm glad that, your deputies was safe, and I did get a couple calls from people that I networked with and wanted to provide some counseling for free, but since you already got that taken care of, I'm glad that they reached out to you to provide some needed counseling to your department.
We'll take them too. We got a lot of people was involved.
Yes, sir. Now, I'm gonna say this. And this just me talking, and it's about garbage, I'm kind of sick of this being the main topic of Adams County. We got so many good things going on in our county, and we moving forward. But we got people getting killed here. We got mental health problems here. We got people homeless here. And it seems like to me, we more concerned about garbage, trash, than human life. Something wrong with that. I'm just gonna say this, and we all want a safe community. We all want a clean community. And this deal we did with garbage, I pray about everything I do. I'm glad I did, because at the end of the day, when you look what's going on in Brookhaven with this same company, they finna get ran out of Brookhaven. They ain't doing their job in Brookhaven. They not doing their job with the city, and they not doing their job with the county. They finna get rid of it. So I'm glad we did what we did and chose the company with the lowest bid, because I think it was the best bid. Mr. Attorney, I know I've been talking to you about Great River out there in Morgantown. and I'm not gonna be here, so, Mr. President, me and Angela going to this conference. The Congressman Benny Thompson is having, I think he's having a grand opening or something of a building at 208 Lindley Drive from 4 to 6, room 41. I'm gonna be gone, but I wish I was here because the first thing I do, I would recommend for Congressman Thompson to help us open up an investigation of what's going on with the water out there in Morgantown. Because it don't make sense for somebody's water in Adams County to double when residents right across the street is with the Natchez Water Work and they paying cheaper water. Something going on out there, and for me, as a supervisor, it don't seem right. They have a meeting, Mr. Rand, you might can remember, help me out, workforce development. I heard this at the city meeting.
When's that meeting?
And it's supposed to be Thursday from 10 to 12 at the convention center with both our boards. Three of our boards, the city board, the county board, and the,
That's the people who are appointed for it.
I
It's
think
not
it's just
the
a
whole
workforce
board.
board, that,
It's a
it's just a
workforce
committee, it's the committee.
it's just the committee?
It's just
As
a
far as I
committee.
know.
It's the committee, it's not all boards.
It's just the committee?
Yeah.
No, it's a committee. We have these meetings every couple of months, every quarter. We had these meetings, and we had not have, we not,
Hadn't had one.
in the past, we had not had everybody, our representatives from the school board, the city, and the county have went to the table and met, like we have been doing, since we started.
Well, maybe I heard it wrong at the city meeting. I thought it was gonna be a meeting with all boards where they could bring us up to date on all this good stuff they got.
Or maybe it is, I hadn't heard of it yet.
They supposed to send it out. The mayor asked them to send it out.
I have it, I got it from, Mr. Tawana Williams. It's for July the 20th.
So it's just the committee.
It's the committee.
And then y'all
And
come
then-
back and, okay.
Right.
Did we go on and hire whoever we hired for the budget? Is he working?
We have a meeting with him Thursday? Thursday.
Thursday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And our engineer is gone. We still have some more grant opportunities I need to email him to look into. I know he's looking into the safe roads, but they got quite a few more they sent. Mr. Rob.
Yes.
While we in the process of working on Morgantown Road, and the city's in the process of doing the same thing, they're trying to change their lights out to LED lights. I think once we get Morgantown Road where we need to get it, everybody complain about how dark it is. Since we done had 2 individuals that get killed on that road, it'd be a good idea to get with energy and whoever else got lights on that road and see can they lighten that road up a little bit for us. Excuse me. Scott, could you please get with Mr. Worth Peterson on what we trying to do with it?
I got it.
You got it? Thank you, sir. And they did have a stop the violent bike ride. Rand, did you go?
Correct, yes, sir.
If it's okay with y'all, you want to make a report on that? Because I wasn't able to go.
I mean, I can report.
Yeah, just give us a little quick update on what happened.
Absolutely. I don't have the numbers in front of me
Yeah.
as far as participation. But Mr. Hayward Foy from Divine Brothers Association out of Monroe, Louisiana, put on a spectacular event with the help of Workforce Development, Natchez Parks and Recreation, and the City of Natchez, and also some other private donors, some of which are in this room, that allowed that to happen. We had several mental health vendors on site. We had Natchez High's football team and their coach volunteering their time and helping with the kids. We had jump houses for the kids, we had games and activities. We did a 1.2-mile bike ride through town, so we got some exposure. The guest speaker, I did not catch that part, but I heard it was very captivating and inspirational. I believe the overall participation was around 75 people, so we're hoping to double that number in the future through a better marketing campaign and soliciting more local support. Any questions or comments about it? It was a good time.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. And last, Robbie, I told you about the list here. I'm gonna say this because I'm working on my 7th term, trying to be elected in this community. And one thing I have noticed a pattern of election tear a community apart because of the lies and everything else they put out there during election time, taking advantage of people that don't understand what they're talking about. And people run for office would tell all kind of lies to tear our community down. And then once individuals are elected, then we got to rebuild what they done tore down. So my only thing is, if people would only just tell the truth and campaign on what they're gonna do and stop campaigning on what somebody else is not doing, because everybody got relatives here, everybody got friends here. We got too much positive stuff going on in the community to let an election come between us like that. And that concludes my report.
Supervisor Hutchins.
Okay, I spoke to the sheriff about the cameras out at the Grange, but I wanted to let this board know, and I don't know if Scott received this or not, that the MSDH announces another 2 rounds of application period for the Rural Water Association. So if there's some that we need to apply for, we need to jump on that right away. Because I know we was approved on one area for Deerfield. So this is a 2nd round for grant for Water Association. If you all want to jump on it.
Does that include sewer, Deanna? Let me look at that.
It didn't include sewer at the end. It's an infrastructure. Association of Infrastructure.
What company was that? Or, I'm sorry, agency?
MSDH. Okay. The charter school, they have opened up a charter school, and that's out there, the old ACC building. Trinity, I mean, Trinity. And they are having a welcome reception, and that's on Thursday, July the 27th. And it's gonna be from 11 p.m. Can't be from 11 p.m. Is it 11 p.m.? That should be 8 a.m. 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Cause I was gonna say, nobody gonna be there at that time. They got p.m. on here, but it should be 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m. And they're asking that everybody attend. You have to RSVP by July the 20th if you'll be able to make it. Also, I want to send out my sympathy to the Bell family, because I did know the mother of the young man that, is deceased. I hate it had to happen that way, but the sheriff department, did their job, and I'm glad it, everybody in the sheriff department was okay and didn't get hurt. I never thought it would happen here like this, or something had to happen here like this, because the sheriff department always had ways of training that they have to de-escalate the situation, and I guess they did the best that they could do. So I know those guys are dealing with something too, and counseling is definitely gonna be needed. Because I never forget a situation at the sheriff department with the same thing of domestic violence that went bad too, and they had to have the same thing. So my sympathy goes out to everyone that was involved.
That's all I have.
Mr. Mills.
Yes, sir, President. A couple months ago, we had two different gentlemen show up at two different meetings concerning historic preservation property tax increase tax abatement. I believe Ms. Peggy came last meeting. I keep getting emails about this. Majority of this area is in my district, so I get emails pretty regular about it, and just need to figure out what we need to do or what the plan is right now, Mr. Attorney.
Yeah, y'all referred it to have some sort of policies and regulations. I emailed Peggy, and I've emailed Wayne. I'd like to get at, put the real and the personal together and come up with some sort of regulations to how we would do it. And as I told you on Sunday, the tax roll is not established until our Monday's meeting in August. So we have time, if that's something the board wants to do to get that done, and it's not hurting one way or the other, but, when we approve the equalization of the tax roll, and sometimes that even takes until the next meeting in August before we approve that tax roll anyway. So we do have time to do it. I'd like to get their input as to how we're to implement this tax abatement program, because it's not really something we've done before. Probably would have been great had the city, when they did this, included us on the front end instead of having people come to us asking for tax break and we didn't really know. So.
Mr. President, Mr. Miller,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the only thing I see that could be a problem, and I don't know if you help me with this. Are we opening up a can of worms for everybody to start coming to us for the same thing, man? We don't get none but Avalon taxes, and when a new business located here, we don't even get that for 10 whole years. We start, are we just opening up a can of worms? I'm just asking a question. We need to think about that.
We need, if we're gonna make a decision on any tax abatement, we need to make sure that there are guidelines that are in black and white, that, make sure that whatever the purpose of the exemption or abatement is achieved by granting it. The city has their own policies in place because they're required to. We just don't have any, so if it's something we're gonna look at, we wanna make sure that when we give them, it's because there is some improvement to the community as a whole if it achieves that sort of grounds. If that's the case, then probably aren't opening the can of worms that much. It's certainly something that would cost us. How much even it costs us, I can't even venture to say that it's a significant amount of tax revenue one way or the other. The issue though is, we all pay taxes as a whole, and so letting some people out of it off the hook, so to speak. Tax exemptions are never fair for everybody else, because you gotta suck up that burden. So we want to make sure that it actually goes in some sort of furtherance of policy that the board's good with.
And that is one thing, Mr. Gray, that I did discuss with both of these guys, that this was the only revenue the county had, that the city does still receive sales tax from these purchases they make to make these improvements. So they are kind of in a roundabout way still getting something from this, and the county's not. But we just need to get an answer, I think, by our first meeting in August, and so we can.
Your downtown homes do get advantages because of the age, just by virtue of its age. There's a depreciation schedule on one of the methods that you do an assessment on it. They're going to be depreciated automatically because you're not building a new house, you're refurbishing what's old. The market value obviously is going to fluctuate based on its house, but you do get some benefits doing these houses on top of it based on the normal assessment methodology that the county and the state implements us to do. Living where I live, I redid a house. Wasn't an old house, but it was a house from the 50s. I had a lot of advantages doing that versus going and building a brand new house over one of those new subdivisions. The taxes on mine are going to be less than y'all's. So there's advantages already built in doing that on old houses when I have one. How much is it going to cost us? I would like to have that as part of the application process. What does this actually cost us?
Yeah, well, I would appreciate not cutting you off. I hate to cut you off, but I mean, I want, explanation. I want a clear answer on that. But, just get us some concrete numbers, you know what I'm saying? Because kind of give examples all day. I know there's a lot of times we have a lot of informal conversations, not just saying to you, but I was gonna say it to my whole board. A lot of times we have informal conversations, and you know, we 45 minutes in the informal conversation, and we can do business in that, and not meaning to cut anybody off with business, but it's so much better when you can get us some facts, and you do discuss so that people can understand. Just put us some facts so we can put it on the table and vote on it. All right? Then,
And I agree with you 100%, President Gaines, but this has been discussed in 5 meetings.
Yes,
so
what I'm
we've
saying.
got to make a decision in the first meeting in August. I'll move on. I just want to say that, echo what everybody else has said, yesterday was a tough day for the sheriff's department. It's not easy for the victim as well and their family, and I certainly hate that, but it all comes back to, Sheriff Patton said it numerous times, training. And yesterday, training, unfortunately, was revealed how it benefited our department. And I stepped out of church when I got that first phone call about it, and it's a kind of a gut-wrenching call you get, but I'm glad everyone for the department's okay. I know it's gonna be tough for them for a long time, not just this week, for months. And they'll think about it for a long time on every call they get. So just glad it ended the way it did for our department. That concludes my report.
Supervisor Wilson.
Sheriff, my heart goes out to all of y'all, because you could face this situation again tomorrow, and they cannot hesitate. And so the more training you have and the more these guys get to go through some therapy or whatever, that's gonna be the best thing for them, because they have to remain vigilant and be safe out there, because it's a dangerous world, no doubt about it. I feel for everybody involved. On your point about what we just kind of shut down a minute ago on the tax bill, I don't see where anybody's gonna benefit very much at all from that, to be honest. There's too few people. I redo houses all the time. I never even ask one soul about an abatement on anything. Your value of your property goes up when you do it, so I don't know where it would do us any good whatsoever, to be honest. I think we would be opening a can of worms, and it'd be a lot of extra paperwork for somebody, and I don't think it's gonna really affect 10 people a year, maybe. Just my thoughts. What is, you might know more about this, what are you doing about Robbins Lake Dam? How are we still in a lawsuit, or?
Yep.
So, I mean, are we gonna get shut down? The road gonna get shut down out there over?
No, the damage to the road means that the longevity of the improvements are cut in half versus how long it should last. So it's not an immediate danger, but it's something that we're entitled to having more long lasting present.
We making any progress on getting them to do the work right, bring us the right culverts put in?
No, the contractor's in place, is ready to go. The board can go ahead and decide to take, you're probably gonna have to go ahead and make the improvements. And we're gonna file suit one way or the other on it, and we're waiting on
Okay, that's
other
just
things to reconcile itself out.
something that's been kind of dragging along, and I apologize for not being here at the last meeting, but I was in Italy, and I'm not apologizing for that. We had a really good time over there. I never thought I'd see all those things. It's pretty amazing to see the Sistine Chapel and all those Colosseum, all those ruins over there. I saw where they tore one house down, dug 10 feet, and there's old walls and everything been buried for 300-400 years, you know, and it's pretty unique to see all the drainage systems they had putting water into the houses 4,000 years ago or whatever. I mean, it's they kind of had it going on over there, but I enjoyed that, and I appreciate y'all forgiving me for not getting there. If you do, I don't know. That concludes my report.
Deputy Chancellor Clerk.
I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for my stat, but it's not on mine.
That's all right.
So we realized there was a fund that was under budgeted under the constables. There was a change in the statutory amount they were to be paid for lost cost. So I need to increase fund number 001-262-578 by $5,000. The new fund will be $2,000, just need to have board approval.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray, and can I get a second?
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
The Elections has asked to move some money around. They would like to move $4,000 from 001-180-544 to 001-180-603. And that is for an increase in cost for ballots.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. And can I get a second?
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
A couple of weeks ago, the coroner had asked for travel, and it looks like they needed an amendment on that. The current fund is $3,000. They needed to add $3,238 to that, but it does need board approval.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Properly, can I get a second? Second. Properly second by Supervisor Middleton. Any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
We needed to increase the budget line item for 001-22581. This is for the payment of the housing the prisoners in Concordia Parish, but that does need board approval to increase that line to cover those invoices.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Properly second by Supervisor Middleton. Will there be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
Emergency Management has asked to just shift some money around to clear up, they're moving from from 001-269-17 to 001-264-75. They're asking to move 1,000 from, and then 001-269-17, asking to move 500 from there to 001-265-71. Then we have 1,100 requested to be moved from 120-265-47 to 502.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray.
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
We received a notification from State Extension that Peggy Hegwood and Myra Myers, who are both certified and work in the assessor's office, that their certifications, they have maintained their certifications, and I just wanted to have that spread across the minutes, please.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk.
So moved.
Can I get a motion to properly moved by Supervisor Gray?
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. And opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried.
We need to have the June tax redemption settlement for the Chancery Clerk's office spread across the minutes, please.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. And opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
We received a certificate from the Department of Revenue certifying that they have received Adams County's correct copy of the recapitulation of the real and personal assessment rolls for 2023. We have a certificate of acknowledgement.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. Been properly moved by Supervisor Hutchins and properly second by Supervisor Gray. There be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. And opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.
We received a notification from the State Treasurer's Office notifying that Adams County will be receiving $88,600 in the way of forestry service payments for the Secured Rural Schools Act. And we just need to have this election form, or authorizing the president to sign off on this election form, spread across the minutes.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray. Properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right. Motion carried now.
I was gonna get close. We have an amendment from Core Civic, need to have it approved for the president to sign it straight across the minutes, please.
You heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk. All right, been properly moved by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? If there be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Any opposed, nays have the same right.
We sent out the second round of notices for the homestead chargebacks, and we did not receive any objections to this list here of the individuals, as well as we needed to have some errors that were data entry errors corrected. So I don't know if y'all just want to do that in one motion, acknowledging the ones who did not do objections, and then acknowledging the corrections to be made.
All right, you heard the request of the Chancellor Clerk.
You gotta get the FBI down, that's all we can do is get the FBI. Come on, Sheila, I can smile. These all people work together, work together.
We Chancellor, that be. If there be no more discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Who did the second? I'm sorry, I forgot the second.
You already know.
Who seconded? The red second. All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Nays have the same right, motion carries now.
Wes.
West, second.
Oh, no, you got put down.
What's going on?
We have the August bonds that need to be spread across the minutes for Myra Myers, Robbie Dollar, Timothy Chapman, and Vernon Johnson.
Here's the request of the Chancellor Clerk.
No, I think it's.
All in favor. The bond, renewal for
Robbie, Timothy Chapman, Myra Myers, and Vernon Johnson. So long.
been properly moved, by Supervisor Hutchins. Can I get a second?
Second.
Properly second by Supervisor Gray. Will there be any discussion? There'll be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using the sign of aye. Nays have the same right.
We haven't received one of these in a couple of years. It is one of the requests for hearing for the sanitation matters. The board had originally authorized for Brian Calloway to be the hearing officer for these. Just wanted to confirm that the board did not want to make any changes in that regard, and that I could forward this on to Brian, but just wanted to confirm that with the board, because it has been some time since we've had one. Is that okay with y'all still?
Is that okay?
That he still be the hearing officer?
Okay,
Yeah.
that I need a motion, I just wanted to confirm, because
Okay.
I hadn't had one in a while. And then just bring it back to the board's attention, we had the request for someone to be put in place with contact for the, St. Catherine Creek.
Good job, Pete.
You know, man.
There was a guy who I had discussed earlier. He was speaking with his employer. Don't think it's gonna pan out, but he had someone else in mind. He was supposed to be getting back in touch with you. But we're in a time frame here, right?
Correct. Yeah,
It has to be completed by when?
September the 2nd, and that is to have someone in place and for the application to be completed by that time, so.
So, Mr. President, what do this person actually have to do?
Robert can explain to you.
Robert, what
He
does this
explained it
person
to you.
actually have to do?
St. Catherine Utility.
Oh, St. Catherine.
Reporting.
All the restricted areas in the back, they gotta go in and, get all them pictures, take pictures of that, get those in off, get those in. Take tests at the lagoons back there, and make sure they're in order, that the pH is not too high, that it's down in the right level before you make a release. Monitor everything that goes on out there.
I'm gonna give you a name,
He ain't got nothing to do with it.
I'm gonna give him the name where he can explain what he just explained to me to this individual and find out if this individual wanna do it or not. That's all I'm saying. I'm just gonna give him
All
the
right.
name after this meeting.
Okay. All right. Ready?
We did get some information from the election commissioners. Scott and I do need to get a little bit of clarification, so we'll walk over there after the meeting.
But just to
So-
backtrack real quick, this has to be done before September for insurance purposes, correct?
We got that, we think, cleared up on the insurance end.
They still need the leachate
They
test.
still need the leachate test though, but
Yeah.
they've given us a little bit of a grace period, but not much.
Could somebody explain to me again why Robbie's not doing this? Or is it is it a contract thing, or?
You get paid for your services, and Robbie can only get one, just like any other county official can only get one paycheck from the county. For the longest time, there was not any money coming from the county to St. Catherine Creek Utility Authority, but they ran out of money, and so the county now supports that
Did you want to pay?
agency.
Do what?
So now he has an interest in it.
If you won't pay it, you won't be getting no money from the county.
Anything?
That's right.
But it's just, the only person that's qualified to do it, and we're gonna get under the gun here pretty soon, and,
I can reach out to the city waterworks and see if they have.
Well, I'm just finna give him a name after the meeting.
Good.
That's what I just told you.
Never mind.
alright.
I didn't know who the name was.
All right. Ben,
That's all I have.
Scott,
That was enough.
My stuff got taken
Scott,
care of. Most of my stuff got taken care of.
so you good?
There was a policy change to move one of our days that we get off to Juneteenth. I believe it was the Confederate Memorial Day to Juneteenth, was that right?
Yeah, that's it.
So the board wants to take action on that, certainly can. Call
So moved.
You heard the request there, by the recommendation of the lawyer or request, been properly moved by Supervisor Gray, properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. Will there be any discussion? There be no discussion, all in favor, vote by using sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nays have the same right, motion carried unanimous. All right, well, I'm gonna go back to the Juvenile Detention Center. They have checked, they have plenty of leeway to, do that. The raise on cost $5,500 and they got $152,000 in the,
Raise count, how
Wait a
much?
minute, what you said?
$5,500
For
Oh,
the
what?
next
for a
2
year,
months.
for a year.
For a
I
year?
guess, I don't know,
Or 2
Scott,
months?
2 months.
2 months, for the next 2
That's
months.
what I thought.
The raise, they got plenty of money to do it and they have extra money in here,
Let
so.
me ask you a question.
no,
The question is, when I asked, did we do it last year in 2022? Now, I heard some more that say we did it in 21, when we gave the raise.
That's the last I saw.
Okay, if we gave a raise in 21, how was this approved in 22? And we didn't get no raises in 22. So it needs to be looked into for the next board meeting where we can get it straight.
Isn't the judge the head of his department?
Yeah, but we
And
don't
he has
give a
and he
raise.
has the money. And it's,
But we don't
in his
give a
budget,
raise
right?
at the end of a budget.
no, they were due it last year, but we didn't, and we gave it to them, but they never took it, they never got it, cause
Yeah,
for
you
some
know what I'm
reason they
saying.
dropped it, somebody dropped the ball.
This is what I'm saying. To my understanding, I thought the last time we gave a raise was 2020 what?
I thought it was 21.
21. They say they got it in 2022. We didn't give no raises in 22. Only thing I'm asking Brandon for is to investigate it and look into it more to make sure we doing what's right.
I thought we just had that discussion earlier, and we decided that if they could show they had the money, that we'd approve it.
I didn't decide that.
Well, I still
because
think we need to go
Kevin,
do the motion, and if we don't
Kevin,
approve it, then we can say we turned
everybody
it
was
down.
saying it happened in 2022 then, but now they're saying it was in 21. So that's something different.
If we don't give these people this raise, they're not gonna have anybody else
In
to
1
run that
week?
place. What are you gonna look at?
She gonna make sure that it's in order, cause right now, it don't sound like it's in order.
the question on the table was, do they have the money?
Every department can come up here next meeting and say, I got, money in my budget for get.
They can say it, but these people actually have it. There's a difference between saying it and having it. It's two different things. I mean, you're talking about the 2 months left, they need $5,000. I don't see a big problem with that. These people have been promised this raise.
By who?
It's supposed to be on the tier system, and then they come back and ask for it again, realize before they did. We already voted on it. The tier system for the jail, or they don't call it jail over there.
Did we do that?
Juvenile Detention Center.
Did we vote on that?
I can check the minutes.
I think we did. We did that.
I don't have a problem with being raised, I just want to be in order. What I don't want to happen is, we give a raise, then it stop getting people over there from other places. Now they don't have the revenue coming in to support what we give them, then where the money gonna come from?
But they'll need less people at that point. But,
Make sure we voted on that. I think we did, but just make sure we voted on
We got a
that.
problem with it, just make sure.
yeah, well, that's why they went back and checked, and we said we'd do it if they brought it back.
I think she gave us a date on when we voted on it,
For what the,
for that tier.
oh, the tier thing, I'll look.
Why we looking at that?
That's the same thing, E911 one.
Yeah, we're in a contractual problem with, our associate on that.
Okay, I'm gonna move forward till they looked it up. Cliff Beach, you know, that's through our, county that do the pets and, homeless animals. And, so basically they're asking us, for financial assistance for homeless animals in Adams County for the sum of $15,000 per year. Cliff Beach.
We'll defer that to your appropriations if that's.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. All right, I wanna go, I think this came before the board. I think Robert brought it before, if I'm mistaken. I don't wanna, if you didn't, Robert, excuse me, and we'll get straight. But it came before the board. Colin Combined Community Lincoln College was starting a program on some space for alignment. You remember that?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm correct. So, basically, they're just sending a request. We need the space for about approximately 20 alignment poles in order to be able to offer this class out at Colin. So from this point, I think we're checking the timber on the place that co-owns with the county and the city. So, Mr. Attorney, could you get, if it's the desire of the board, to be able to donate this property for Colin, a place for at least 20 poles so they can start teaching the lineman class out there. So if it's okay with this board, then I can ask for a motion, and then you could get with the city to see if they would allow the same thing. What?
What the city got to do with
This
this?
county property
This
go on.
property.
County and city on that property, yeah.
Oh, they
So-
do, well,
I mean, then when they started getting ready to cut the timber, that's what we said.
Yeah, we did talk.
So-
about that.
What's the pleasure of the board?
How much they need?
A place to put 20 poles,
How many acres?
It's that open area back
It's just-
behind
right behind the school
the
right there.
area.
He gonna put it right on here.
Do we need to, we're gonna give them the property, or
No.
we're just gonna lease it to them, like for $1 or?
But we use it off, here, like,
Scott, what is the
I
best
guess we'll
way
do the
to-
value with, appropriations like we, I don't know. But let Scott recommend.
Yeah, I believe we can figure out a way to do it, plus, as we've discovered, it's city and county properties who work jointly to do it.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to do, make a motion that we okay, and if it's desired, the board, then he give it to the city. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Hudson, properly second by Supervisor Miller. Would there be any discussion? All in favor, vote by using sound aye. Any opposed, nay, it has same right. So, we did move it. I think they'd already moved it by the time they, got out there, Rob, they had moved most of it. Yeah. the motion was to, allow Scott to contact the city. So we will be willing to, donate work on our for the legal contract, I ain't gonna say donate. Ms. Hutchins made it and Supervisor, Middleton, second. Mrs. Deal with Shockey. Need to pass it, Scott. That's my fault, that's the deal with Medicaid and travel on here. So, I need a motion to approve travel for Ms. Supervisor Hutchins on the 10/30 for 2023 to New Orleans.
That's been approved.
It's been approved.
Yeah.
Why it's back in my phone?
That was approved.
It's not, she don't have it on the minute, that's why it's back in my phone.
It was approved last week.
It's okay, if it wasn't, just read.
That's
Okay,
what we
I mean,
approved
what-
it in, so moved.
Vote again, or so
Uh-huh.
moved. Second.
Let's go to y'all.
Whoever wanna go.
Yeah, it was approved to whoever,
wanted to go.
for all.
Yeah.
Comfort down there. I do remember coming up
Yeah,
and having a
yeah.
minute.
All right, do it again.
It's been, yeah. All in favor? Wait a minute, we didn't even make no motion, hold on.
You had a motion, I made it,
And
and
she
he
seconded,
seconded.
that's why, all right. So he seconded, yeah, you move around. So all in favor, vote by using sign aye. Any opposed, nay, cast same right. Motion carried now. It just, they did, I think it's the only one here, and, we just, it's for the whole board.
Yes, okay.
All right, this is another one for Ms. Hutchins to
Wait.
CBC Institute.
We did.
Oh, we got all that stuff in there.
Why
I
is it-
guess that's
well, why is
just
it
the
back in my-
paperwork.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
the
that's just
paperwork. It's
paperwork.
already
All
been
that's been
approved.
done. Yeah, that's what
That's
it's
the, Benny Thompson thing right
Yeah.
there.
It's just paperwork, Warren, that you
Okay.
need to sign.
But I'm just wondering why they, you know what I'm saying, they put it back,
Yeah.
and it, in my folder the same way, like it need approving, so like I told you all the time, I just I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather make a motion to make sure we within the law.
And that's for Edie and everybody
Everybody.
as well.
And so, same thing, Sheriff, I like to say, I know it's definitely a hard thing, and I can kind of see it in your face, I can hear it in your voice, and, but, you know, that's a hard situation. Because no matter how bad somebody is, somebody still love them. Somebody's child, you know? And the same way, those folks trying to go home, it's somebody's child too, that they want to come home. So it's a real tough situation, so, you know, we go in prayer for the community. You know, I heard some things, I think we really need to look toward a lot of prayer for the community. You know, because the times are just raging all over. So, you know, it's just really, really tough for everybody. A lot of things happen like that beyond our control. So, you know, we just glad everybody made it home, and we sorry for the loss of anybody else. So I'm not gonna prolong the time. What are we gonna do about these? Are we gonna let them research this deal? Are we gonna, I don't know.
That's the jailers.
The juvenile detention thing that's got.
I'm emailing Mary Kay right now the letter that we're about to go into executive.
Okay,
session.
all right, well, I need a motion for close determination. It's been properly moved by Supervisor Gray, properly second by Supervisor Hutchins. There be any discussion? There'll be no discussion. All in favor, vote by using sign of aye. Any opposed, nay, have the same right. Motion carried unanimously.